There's something captivating about people who radiate balance. You know the ones. They seem unshaken no matter what life throws at them. Their smiles are genuine, their decisions thoughtful, and their lives feel peaceful. It's not that they don't face challenges. Oh, they do. But they've found a way to stand firm while others sway. The best part? Their secret isn't locked away in some mystical cave or reserved for monks sitting on a mountain peak. It's something that we can all practice, no matter where we are in life. Balance and fulfillment aren't about having everything perfect. They're about the small things. That calm that comes when you stop chasing after what doesn't matter and start focusing on what truly does. It's when your actions align with your heart, your mind, and your values. That's where the magic happens. Not the kind of magic that makes everything easy, but the kind that makes life meaningful. But finding balance in today's world, it's not for the faint of heart. There's always something pulling you in opposite directions. A demanding job, a buzzing phone, or that voice in your head saying you're not doing enough. You try to meet everyone's expectations while battling your own insecurities. Before you know it, you're burnt out, irritable, and wondering, how did life get so overwhelming? Let me share a story that might hit close to home. A story of imbalance, discovery, and transformation. It's not about some ancient philosopher or enlightened sage. It's about someone like you. Meet Sarah. She's in her late 30s with a decent job, 2 kids, and what most people would call a good life. But Sarah doesn't feel good. Not at all. Her days start with the blare of an alarm clock that pulls her out of restless sleep. From the moment her feet hit the floor, she's running. A quick shower, packing lunches, rushing the kids off to school, and squeezing into her car for a long, stressful commute. At work, it's a whirlwind of deadlines, emails, and meetings. Then, it's back home to a house that needs cleaning, kids who need attention, and a mountain of laundry that never seems to shrink. By the time she collapses onto the couch at night, her mind is still racing. Did I remember to pay that bill? What did my boss mean by that comment in the meeting? Am I spending enough time with the kids? Even when she's physically still, her mind won't stop running laps. And the weekends? They're no better. Soccer games, grocery shopping, fixing what's broken around the house. She's always doing, never being. Greater than. Sarah feels stuck in a cycle she can't break. She tells herself, this is just life. Everyone feels this way. But deep down, she knows it's not how life is supposed to feel. There's a heaviness in her chest, a longing for something more. Not more stuff, not a bigger house, not a fancier car. She wants more peace, more joy, more connection. But how? One afternoon, Sarah's youngest child, Max, asked her a simple question. Mom, why are you always tired? She didn't know how to respond. She wanted to say, because I work hard to give you a good life. But the words caught in her throat. Max wasn't asking about her work or her responsibilities. He was asking about her. Why did she always seem drained, absent, and preoccupied? Later that night, Sarah sat alone at the kitchen table, staring at the stack of bills she was too tired to sort through. She thought about Max's question. When had she become this version of herself? The mom who snapped at her kids, the colleague who half listened in meetings, the friend who never called back. It wasn't just about being tired. It was about being disconnected from her family, from her friends, from herself. She reached for her phone, scrolling aimlessly, when she came across a video about finding balance. It wasn't flashy or dramatic, just someone talking about simple ways to create a life that felt calmer, more centered, and deeply fulfilling. Sarah watched the entire video, something she rarely did. For the first time in months, she felt something stir inside her, not guilt or frustration, but hope. The next day, Sarah decided to make a change, not a dramatic overhaul, but a small shift. She started by doing something she hadn't done in years. She paused. Before jumping out of bed, she sat for a moment, breathing deeply, feeling the warmth of the morning sun on her face. That single moment of stillness set the tone for her day. She didn't feel rushed or frantic. She felt present. Over the weeks, Sarah added more small changes. She set aside 5 minutes in the morning to focus on her breath. She practiced saying no to commitments that didn't align with her priorities. She spent her lunch breaks walking in the park instead of scrolling through her phone. And every evening, she wrote down one thing she was grateful for. Greater than. At first it felt unfamiliar, like learning a new language. But as the days turned into weeks, Sarah noticed something incredible. She wasn't just surviving, she was living. The weight in her chest lifted. She laughed more with her kids. She listened more intently to her friends. She found herself humming along to songs on the radio instead of grinding her teeth in traffic. Life didn't get easier, but it felt lighter. Sarah's story is more than just a tale of one person's transformation. It's a reminder of what's possible when you decide to stop living on autopilot. Her life didn't change because she bought a fancy planner, downloaded the latest productivity app, or quit her job to find herself. It changed because she took simple, intentional steps toward balance. The truth is, we all have moments when life feels overwhelming. The demands pile up, the noise grows louder, and we lose sight of what truly matters. But just like Sarah, you can make small shifts that lead to big changes. You can create a life where balance and fulfillment aren't just distant dreams. They're part of your everyday reality. This journey isn't about perfection. It's not about getting everything right all the time or eliminating every ounce of stress. It's about finding the middle ground, the sweet spot where you feel connected to yourself, the people around you, and the present moment. So as we explore these timeless practices together, keep Sarah's story in mind. Let it remind you that balance isn't reserved for the extraordinary. It's for anyone willing to take that first step. Small, simple, but full of promise. Whether you're navigating a busy career, raising a family, or finding your way through a transition, there's a path to a more balanced, fulfilling life waiting for you. And it starts here. Let's take that first step. The pursuit of balance is one of life's greatest challenges. There's something deeply unsettling about feeling pulled in different directions, unable to find stability. At the heart of Buddhist teachings lies a concept so powerful, yet so simple: the middle way. This path isn't about choosing between two extremes, but walking the line between them, finding harmony in the process. It's not just a philosophy. It's a way of living that creates space for peace and purpose in the chaos of daily life. The middle way is a compass, a guide to navigate life's complexities with clarity. It's about avoiding the trap of overindulgence without swinging to the harshness of self-denial. It invites us to step away from extremes that drain our energy and keep us stuck. By exploring this timeless principle, we uncover how to live with intention and grace, making space for fulfillment and joy in even the simplest moments. The beauty of the middle way lies in its practicality. It's not asking for grand gestures or dramatic transformations. Instead, it shows us how to approach everything, from our relationships and careers to our personal habits and mental health, with balance. Life doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful, and the middle way helps us embrace this truth. This approach fosters an inner calm that ripples outward, bringing stability to every corner of life. It's not about erasing desires or ignoring ambitions, but finding a path where these things coexist with peace. Let's explore how this principle can transform not only how you think, but how you live. The middle way teaches us to recognize when we're caught in extremes. It's easy to fall into patterns of all or nothing thinking, where we either overcommit or withdraw entirely. The middle way encourages a gentler approach, one where we can acknowledge the effort we're putting in while knowing when to pause and recharge. In a world that glorifies burnout, this is a revolutionary act. Harmony comes when we let go of rigidity. Life is rarely black and white, and the middle way invites us to see the richness in between. It encourages flexibility, helping us adjust to challenges with resilience instead of resistance. This adaptability doesn't mean giving up. It means finding strength in the flow. Life, after all, is constantly changing, and the more we embrace that change, the easier it becomes to stay balanced. Greater than. In our relationships, the middle way can help us create stronger, more meaningful connections. Often, conflicts arise when we cling too tightly to our perspectives or give too much of ourselves, leaving us feeling drained. The middle way invites us to listen, to find common ground, and to give without losing ourselves. It's about mutual respect and understanding, creating a foundation for relationships that uplift instead of weigh us down. This principle also transforms how we view success. The pursuit of achievement often pushes people to extremes, sacrificing health, relationships, or mental peace for the sake of making it. The middle way doesn't deny ambition. It simply asks us to redefine it. Success becomes less about external validation and more about living in alignment with your values. It's about pursuing goals with determination while keeping space for rest, reflection, and joy. The middle way is deeply tied to mindfulness. By staying present, we can notice when we're tipping into extremes and gently bring ourselves back. It's a practice of self-awareness, where we learn to recognize our patterns without judgment. When stress builds, instead of reacting impulsively, we pause and reflect. This moment of awareness can make all the difference, allowing us to choose a balanced response over a destructive one. In daily life, the middle way helps us simplify. We often fill our schedules and minds with more than we need, convinced that doing more will bring us closer to happiness. The middle way encourages us to step back and question this belief. What truly adds value to your life? By letting go of excess, be it possessions, obligations, or thoughts, we create room for what matters most. This principle also has a profound impact on our physical well-being. Extreme diets or exercise regimens might promise quick results, but often lead to frustration or harm. The middle way reminds us to care for our bodies with kindness, choosing sustainable habits that nourish rather than punish. It's about finding a rhythm that works for you, where health becomes a journey instead of a race. The middle way also challenges the notion that happiness comes from extremes of pleasure or achievement. True contentment arises when we embrace moderation. Overindulgence often leads to dissatisfaction, just as strict self-denial can leave us feeling empty. The middle way offers a third path, one where we can enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them. It's a subtle but profound shift that allows joy to flow naturally. In moments of conflict, the middle way provides a framework for resolution. It encourages open communication and a willingness to see the other side. Instead of digging our heels into one extreme, we explore the middle ground, seeking solutions that honor both parties. This approach doesn't just resolve disputes, it strengthens bonds and builds trust. The middle way is also a guide for emotional health. When emotions run high, it's easy to be swept away by anger, fear, or sadness. The middle way teaches us to acknowledge these feelings without letting them control us. It's not about suppressing emotions, but finding balance, letting them move through us while staying grounded in the present. One of the greatest gifts of the middle way is the sense of freedom it brings. By releasing the need to cling to extremes, we unburden ourselves from unnecessary stress. Life becomes less about winning or losing, and more about showing up with authenticity. This freedom opens the door to creativity, connection, and a deeper appreciation for the journey. Greater than. The middle way also encourages gratitude. By stepping away from extremes, we can better appreciate the beauty of the present moment. Gratitude becomes a natural response when we're not consumed by striving or scarcity. It's a quiet contentment that reminds us of how much we already have, even amidst life's challenges. This principle invites us to practice humility. Extremes often stem from a desire to prove ourselves, either to others or to ourselves. The middle way shifts the focus from external validation to internal peace. It's not about being the best or having the most. It's about being true to who you are. Humility brings a sense of ease, allowing us to let go of the need for comparison or competition. The middle way helps us build resilience. Life will always have its ups and downs, but balance keeps us steady. By avoiding extremes, we conserve energy and stay focused, even in the face of adversity. This resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about facing them with a sense of calm and clarity. Ultimately, the middle way fosters harmony. It's a practice of aligning your thoughts, actions, and values so that your life feels whole. It's not about achieving perfection, but finding peace in imperfection. By walking this path, we learn to live with intention, grace, and an open heart. The journey to balance isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Each step on the middle way brings us closer to a life of meaning and fulfillment. As we move forward, let this principle guide you, not as a rigid rule, but as a gentle reminder to stay centered, no matter where life takes you. Balance is not just a state of mind, it's a rhythm. It's something you cultivate, moment by moment, in how you think, act, and breathe. While the middle way offers a guide to navigate life's extremes, its foundation lies in the present. And what anchors us most profoundly to the present? The breath. Breathing is so simple, so constant, that we often forget its power. Yet, within each inhale and exhale lies the potential for calm, clarity, and renewal. The act of mindful breathing is not just a practice, it's a lifeline that pulls you out of mental chaos and anchors you in the here and now. It holds the key to inner peace, offering you a space where distractions fade and you reconnect with your core. In a world where everything feels rushed and overwhelming, mindful breathing creates a sanctuary of stillness. It isn't just about taking a deep breath. It's about becoming aware of the breath, learning from it, and letting it guide you to a state of balance. Greater than. Mindful breathing teaches us to slow down. It's a gentle reminder that life doesn't need to be lived at full speed to be meaningful. When you pause and pay attention to your breath, you realize how often it mirrors your emotions. Short, shallow breaths come with anxiety, while deep, steady breaths are present in calm. By tuning into your breath, you gain insight into your inner state and discover how to regulate it. Each breath is a bridge connecting your mind and body. When the mind races with thoughts, the body follows suit with tension. But when the breath becomes deliberate and intentional, it soothes both. You can feel this connection if you take a moment to exhale fully and notice the release of stress in your shoulders, neck, and chest. This is the power of mindful breathing. It aligns your mental and physical worlds, creating harmony within. Breathing mindfully is about more than relaxation. It's a gateway to presence. So often, the mind wanders to the past with its regrets or the future with its worries. The breath, however, is always in the present. Focusing on it is like holding onto a thread that keeps you grounded amidst life's distractions. Each breath reminds you that this moment is enough, that you are enough. A simple breathing exercise can transform your day. Start by sitting comfortably, closing your eyes and noticing your breath as it flows in and out. Resist the urge to change it. Simply observe. You may notice the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils, the slight pause at the top of the inhale, and the warmth as you exhale. This observation is mindfulness in action, giving your full attention to something as simple and profound as your own breathing. As you deepen your practice, you may discover the power of the belly breath. Place one hand on your stomach and the other on your chest. Breathe deeply, allowing your stomach to rise with each inhale and fall with each exhale. This type of breathing activates your body's relaxation response, calming your nervous system and reducing stress. It's a way to signal to your body that it's safe to let go, even if only for a moment. Mindful breathing also enhances emotional regulation. When anger, frustration, or sadness arise, the breath often reacts before you even realize what you're feeling. It becomes shallow, irregular, or even held altogether. By focusing on your breathing during moments of emotional intensity, you can regain control. Taking slow, steady breaths helps calm your physiological response, giving you the clarity to respond rather than react. It's not about ignoring your emotions, but creating space to process them with a clear mind. The beauty of mindful breathing lies in its accessibility. You don't need special equipment, a specific setting, or even much time. You can practice it anywhere, on a crowded train, during a tense meeting, or while lying awake at night. The breath is always with you, a constant companion that can guide you back to calm whenever you need it. Breathing mindfully also connects you to something greater. In Buddhist teachings, the breath is seen as a symbol of life's impermanence. Each inhale brings something new. Each exhale lets something go. This natural rhythm reminds us that nothing is permanent. Not our worries, not our achievements, not our pain. The breath invites us to embrace this impermanence, to let go of clinging, and to find freedom in the flow of life. Greater than. Over time, mindful breathing can deepen your understanding of yourself. As you sit with your breath, distractions may arise, thoughts, memories, sensations. Rather than fighting them, observe them with curiosity. Notice how they come and go, just like the breath. This practice teaches you to detach from your thoughts, to see them as passing clouds rather than fixed truths. It's a subtle but powerful shift that brings clarity and peace. Mindful breathing also fosters gratitude. Each breath is a gift, a reminder of life's fragility and beauty. By focusing on your breath, you develop an appreciation for the present moment and all it holds. It's not about denying difficulties, but recognizing the quiet blessings that exist alongside them. Gratitude and mindfulness go hand in hand, enriching your perspective and opening your heart. The practice of mindful breathing also sharpens focus. In a world filled with distractions, the ability to concentrate is a rare and valuable skill. By training your mind to return to the breath again and again, you strengthen your capacity for attention. This focus extends beyond your practice, enhancing your ability to stay present in conversations, work, and daily tasks. It's not just about doing more, but about doing it with presence and intention. Breathing mindfully encourages self-compassion. As you observe your breath, you may notice tension or discomfort within yourself. Instead of criticizing these feelings, mindful breathing invites you to approach them with kindness. Place a hand on your chest and breathe deeply, offering yourself the same compassion you would a friend. This practice nurtures a gentle, supportive relationship with yourself, one that fosters healing and resilience. Through mindful breathing, you can also cultivate patience. The rhythm of the breath is unhurried, steady, and constant. By aligning yourself with this rhythm, you learn to let go of urgency and embrace life's natural pace. This patience extends to how you approach challenges, relationships, and goals, creating a sense of ease and flow in your life. Breathing mindfully is not about perfection, but practice. Some days, your mind will wander more than others. Some breaths will feel shallow, others deep. The practice lies in returning to the breath again and again, with a sense of curiosity and openness. Each return strengthens your ability to stay present, to let go of judgment, and to embrace the moment as it is. The breath is a teacher, showing us that peace is not something we find, but something we cultivate. It reminds us that no matter how chaotic life becomes, there is always a quiet place within us that we can return to. This inner peace is not distant or unreachable. It's as close as your next breath. By practicing mindful breathing, you create a life that is not only balanced, but deeply fulfilling, one breath at a time. The breath, simple yet profound, teaches us to stay grounded in the present. But what about the deeper undercurrents of life that ripple beneath it? Beneath the surface of daily living lies a universal truth. Life is filled with challenges, discomfort, and moments of hardship. This isn't a flaw in existence, it's part of being human. And yet, for all its difficulty, life also offers a path to freedom, to peace, and to fulfillment. At the core of Buddhist teachings, this path begins with understanding the Four Noble Truths, a foundation that not only explains suffering, but also shows us how to transcend it. Greater than. These truths aren't abstract ideas reserved for scholars or monks. They're a practical roadmap for anyone seeking a contented life. They invite us to look deeply at our experiences, to question the causes of our struggles, and to discover how letting go can lead to profound peace. The Four Noble Truths don't shy away from the reality of suffering. They confront it with wisdom and compassion, offering a way through rather than around it. Let's explore their transformative power and how they can create fulfillment in your life. The first truth speaks to the universal nature of suffering. Pain, loss, disappointment, and longing touch every life, no matter how fortunate or well-prepared. This isn't meant to be a pessimistic view. Rather, it's an acknowledgement of reality. When we stop resisting or denying this truth, we create space for understanding. Avoiding suffering often leads to deeper frustration because it keeps us trapped in a cycle of denial and avoidance. Accepting this truth doesn't mean surrendering to despair. It means beginning to see life with clarity and honesty. Suffering comes in many forms. There's the physical suffering of illness, the emotional suffering of heartbreak, and the existential suffering of feeling disconnected or unfulfilled. Recognizing these forms doesn't make them heavier. It makes them easier to address. Often, the weight of suffering is compounded by our resistance to it. The first truth invites us to sit with it, to acknowledge its presence without judgment. This openness is the first step toward transformation. The second truth goes deeper, exploring the cause of suffering. At its core, suffering arises from attachment and craving, our relentless desire for things to be a certain way. This craving often manifests as an endless pursuit of pleasure, success, or control, coupled with an aversion to pain, failure, or uncertainty. The more tightly we cling to these desires, the more we suffer when reality doesn't align with them. It's not that desire itself is inherently bad, but when it becomes obsessive or unrealistic, it creates tension within us. For example, the desire for love becomes suffering when we cling to the idea that it must look or feel a certain way. The craving for recognition leads to frustration when others don't provide it. By identifying these patterns of attachment, we begin to loosen their grip on us. This isn't about suppressing desires. It's about understanding them and their impact on our well-being. The second truth also highlights the impermanence of life. Much of our suffering comes from wanting things to remain constant: our health, relationships, possessions, or even our moods. But life, by its very nature, is fluid and ever-changing. When we resist this change, we create friction, and that friction is suffering. Learning to embrace impermanence allows us to approach life with more ease and less fear. It's a shift from trying to control life to flowing with it. The third truth offers hope. It reminds us that suffering is not a permanent condition. Just as it has a cause, it also has an end. This cessation of suffering, often referred to as nirvana, isn't some far-off state reserved for spiritual elites. It's a freedom available to anyone willing to explore the roots of their suffering and let go of the attachments that fuel it. This truth is a call to action, a reminder that contentment and peace are possible, even amidst life's challenges. Freedom from suffering doesn't mean erasing pain or avoiding difficulty. Instead, it's about transforming our relationship with these experiences. It's about seeing them clearly, understanding their impermanent nature and allowing them to come and go without clinging. This freedom creates space for joy, gratitude, and connection to flourish. It's not about living a life without problems, but about finding peace within the life you already have. Greater than. The fourth truth provides a path to this freedom. Known as the Eightfold Path, it offers practical steps to cultivate a life of balance, wisdom, and compassion. This path isn't a rigid set of rules, but a flexible guide that adapts to your unique journey. It's a way of living that aligns your thoughts, actions, and intentions with your deepest values, creating harmony within yourself and the world around you. Central to the Eightfold Path is mindfulness. By cultivating awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, you gain insight into how they contribute to your suffering or your peace. Mindfulness is the thread that connects all aspects of the path, helping you stay present and intentional in your journey. It allows you to notice when you're caught in patterns of craving or aversion and gently guide yourself back to balance. Another vital aspect of the path is ethical living. This includes acting with kindness, speaking with integrity, and making choices that reduce harm to yourself and others. Ethical living isn't about following rules for the sake of morality. It's about creating a foundation of trust and respect that supports a fulfilling life. When your actions align with your values, you experience a sense of wholeness and ease that is deeply satisfying. The path also emphasizes the importance of effort. Letting go of suffering isn't passive. It requires dedication and perseverance. But this effort isn't about striving or forcing. It's about nurturing positive habits and gently releasing those that no longer serve you. It's a process of growth that respects your pace and meets you where you are. Wisdom is another cornerstone of the path. This includes understanding the nature of reality, particularly the truths of suffering and impermanence. Wisdom isn't about intellectual knowledge. It's about seeing life clearly and responding with compassion and balance. It's the kind of understanding that transforms how you approach challenges, relationships, and even your own mind. As you walk this path, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your life. You may find yourself reacting less to small annoyances, appreciating moments of connection more deeply, or feeling a sense of contentment that isn't tied to external circumstances. These changes aren't dramatic or sudden. They're quiet, steady, and profoundly transformative. The Four Noble Truths remind us that suffering is not a sign of failure or weakness. It's part of being human. But they also remind us that we don't have to stay stuck in it. Through understanding, intention, and practice, we can move toward a life of greater balance and fulfillment. These truths are not just teachings to be studied, they're tools to be lived. Each step you take along this path is a step toward freedom, not just from suffering, but toward a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. Understanding the Four Noble Truths opens the door to a profound shift in how we view and approach life's challenges. Yet, even as we learn to navigate suffering and seek freedom from it, there remains a vital piece of the puzzle: how we treat ourselves and others. Compassion, the ability to hold both ourselves and others with kindness, is not just a response to suffering, it's a way to transcend it. This is where loving-kindness meditation, or metta, offers a transformative practice. Greater than. Metta meditation isn't just about fostering goodwill toward others. It begins with you. It's about softening the harsh judgments you hold against yourself, silencing the inner critic, and opening your heart to the possibility of unconditional kindness. At its core, it's a practice that cultivates warmth, connection, and forgiveness, not as abstract ideals, but as tangible experiences you can feel and share. This practice invites you to start where you are, with yourself. Self-compassion isn't selfish. It's the foundation of the kindness you offer others. Often, we're quick to extend patience and understanding to the people around us while withholding it from ourselves. Metta gently reverses this pattern. As you sit quietly and direct kind wishes toward yourself, you create space to heal. It's not about erasing flaws or regrets, but about accepting them without harshness. This self-compassion becomes the root of a more peaceful, centered you. The process of metta meditation involves silently repeating phrases of kindness. These might include, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be free from suffering." These words, simple yet powerful, carry a profound intention. With each repetition, you plant seeds of compassion in your heart, nurturing them with your focus and sincerity. Over time, this practice softens the barriers you've built against your own worthiness, allowing self-love to grow naturally. As you cultivate compassion for yourself, the practice expands outward. After offering kindness to yourself, you direct the same goodwill towards someone you care about. This step strengthens the bond you share, even if that person isn't physically present. By wishing them happiness, health, and freedom, you deepen your connection on a level that transcends words. It's a quiet act of generosity that transforms how you relate to those closest to you. But metta doesn't stop with loved ones. It challenges you to extend kindness to those you feel neutral toward. Strangers, acquaintances, people who cross your path without much interaction. Offering them the same wishes reminds you of your shared humanity. It breaks down the invisible walls that keep us disconnected and fosters a sense of belonging. This practice is a gentle nudge toward seeing others not as separate, but as part of the same web of existence. Perhaps the most challenging part of metta meditation is extending compassion to those you struggle with, people who may have hurt you or whom you find difficult to forgive. It's natural to resist this step, to feel that some people don't deserve your kindness. But metta is not about excusing harmful actions or denying pain. It's about releasing the heavy burden of resentment and anger that you carry. When you wish for someone's happiness, you're not condoning their behavior. You're freeing yourself from the grip of negativity. This act of compassion is as much for you as it is for them. Greater than. The beauty of metta meditation lies in its ability to transform relationships. When you practice regularly, you begin to notice subtle changes in how you interact with others. Conversations become less charged with tension, and conflicts feel less personal. You develop a greater capacity to listen, to empathize, and to respond with patience. This shift doesn't just improve your relationships, it creates a ripple effect of kindness that extends far beyond your immediate circle. Metta also fosters a sense of inner peace that is unshaken by external circumstances. As you build a habit of offering kindness, you start to see yourself and the world through a lens of goodwill. The practice becomes a refuge, a space where you can return whenever life feels overwhelming. It reminds you that compassion is always available, no matter how chaotic things may seem. This meditation also teaches the power of intention. When you send out wishes for happiness, health, and freedom, you align your thoughts and energy with these qualities. You begin to notice more opportunities to act with kindness, to show care, and to uplift others. This alignment between intention and action deepens your sense of purpose and fulfillment, creating a life that feels more meaningful and connected. Another profound benefit of metta is its ability to heal emotional wounds. Many of us carry unresolved pain, grief, regret, or guilt that weighs us down. By directing compassion toward yourself and others, you create space for healing. You may find that the phrases you repeat begin to soften old hurts, replacing them with a sense of acceptance and release. This healing is not about forgetting the past, but about transforming it into a source of wisdom and growth. Metta also strengthens your resilience. Life will always bring challenges, but a heart rooted in compassion is better equipped to face them. When you approach difficulties with kindness for yourself and those involved, you reduce the emotional turbulence that often accompanies hardship. This resilience allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and steadiness. Greater than. The practice of metta extends beyond formal meditation. It becomes a way of being, influencing how you move through the world. You may find yourself offering a kind word to a stranger, forgiving someone more easily, or showing patience in situations that once frustrated you. These acts of compassion, small as they may seem, create a ripple effect that touches everyone you encounter. Loving kindness. Meditation also bridges the gap between differences. In a world often divided by opinions, beliefs, and backgrounds, metta reminds us of our shared humanity. It encourages us to look beyond what separates us and focus on what connects us. This perspective fosters unity, understanding, and a sense of global compassion that has the power to heal divisions. One of the most rewarding aspects of metta is the joy it brings. Kindness, when practiced sincerely, uplifts not only those who receive it, but also the one who offers it. The simple act of wishing someone well can fill your heart with a sense of warmth and happiness that no material possession can match. This joy is a reminder that compassion is not just a gift to others, it's a gift to yourself. Through metta, you also discover the boundless nature of compassion. It's not a finite resource that you have to ration. It grows the more you share it. The practice helps you move from a mindset of scarcity, where kindness feels limited, to one of abundance, where there is always enough to give. This abundance mindset transforms how you approach life, relationships, and even your own sense of self-worth. The transformative power of loving kindness meditation lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or years of practice to feel its effects. All it asks is your presence and intention. Whether you're sitting quietly at home, walking in nature, or waiting in line at the store, you can practice metta. It's a portable, adaptable tool that brings lightness to your heart and depth to your connections. Through this practice, you come to understand that compassion is not just a quality to develop, but a state of being to embody. It's a way of living that creates harmony within yourself and with the world around you. Loving kindness. Meditation reminds us that no matter how fragmented life may feel, kindness has the power to weave it back together, one heartfelt wish at a time. Compassion taught through loving kindness. Meditation opens our hearts to others and ourselves, yet there's a deeper truth woven into this practice. Much of our suffering arises from the things we hold on to too tightly. Clinging to desires, outcomes, and even our identities creates a weight that pulls us away from peace. Non-attachment is not about detaching from life, but about embracing it with open hands, free from the need to control or possess. It's the art of letting go, not in loss, but in liberation. When we talk about attachment, it's not just about physical possessions or relationships. It's about the mental and emotional grip we place on things, believing they will bring us permanent happiness or shield us from pain. This clinging creates a cycle of dependence and fear. Fear of losing what we have or not getting what we want. Non-attachment invites us to step out of this cycle, to release the tightness and find freedom in flow. The first step in understanding non-attachment is recognizing impermanence. Everything in life, our relationships, possessions, and even our emotions, is in constant motion. Change is inevitable, yet we often resist it. This resistance, this refusal to let go of what no longer serves us, is where suffering begins. Non-attachment isn't about becoming indifferent. It's about accepting the transient nature of life with grace. When you release the need to hold on to things as they are, you make space for new experiences and growth. Greater than. Releasing attachment doesn't mean rejecting joy or connection. It means experiencing them fully without clinging to them. Often we hold on to moments or people out of fear that they'll slip away, but this tight grip diminishes our ability to enjoy what's here. When you practice non-attachment, you learn to savor life without trying to freeze it. It's a paradox. The less you cling, the more you can fully embrace. Non-attachment also transforms how we handle desires. Desires themselves are not harmful. It's our attachment to them that creates suffering. When we base our happiness on achieving specific outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Non-attachment teaches us to pursue our goals with passion, but without the need for them to define our worth. It's the difference between striving with curiosity and clinging with desperation. Another layer of non-attachment involves letting go of aversions. Just as we cling to what we want, we push away what we dislike. This rejection creates tension as we spend energy avoiding discomfort or pain. Non-attachment asks us to approach even the unpleasant parts of life with openness. Instead of running from challenges, we face them with a calm mind, recognizing that they too are temporary. This acceptance reduces the grip they have on us. Practicing non-attachment with relationships can feel especially challenging. We often equate love with possession, believing that holding on tightly shows we care. But true connection comes from freedom, not control. Non-attachment allows us to love deeply while respecting individuality and change. It's about supporting each other's growth without the fear of loss dictating our actions. This type of love creates bonds that are genuine and enduring. Non-attachment also applies to our sense of self. We hold tightly to identities, roles, and labels, believing they define who we are. When these identities are challenged or change, it can feel destabilizing. Non-attachment invites us to see beyond these constructs, to recognize that who we are is not limited to what we do or how others see us. This realization is profoundly freeing, allowing us to live authentically and without fear of judgment. Another area where non-attachment is transformative is in our relationship with material possessions. Consumer culture often ties self-worth to what we own, leading to endless cycles of accumulation. But possessions, like everything else, are impermanent. Non-attachment doesn't mean rejecting material things. It means understanding their place. When we stop equating possessions with happiness, we find joy in simplicity and gratitude for what we have, rather than constantly seeking more. Non-attachment also reshapes how we approach challenges and setbacks. When we cling to a specific outcome, failure feels devastating. But when we release the need for things to go a certain way, we open ourselves to the lessons within every experience. Setbacks become opportunities for growth rather than reasons to despair. This perspective doesn't just reduce suffering, it builds resilience and adaptability. In daily life, non-attachment helps us navigate conflicts with clarity. Often disagreements arise because we're clinging to being right or proving a point. When we let go of the need to control the narrative, we create space for understanding and resolution. This doesn't mean giving up your values. It means approaching conflicts with an open mind and a willingness to find common ground. Greater than. Non-attachment also strengthens our ability to live in the present. Clinging often pulls us into the past or propels us into the future, robbing us of the now. By letting go of what was and what could be, we anchor ourselves in the moment. This presence enhances our awareness and allows us to experience life fully without the weight of regrets or worries. Letting go doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, one that requires patience and self-compassion. Start small. Release a minor grievance, declutter a space, or reflect on an old habit you no longer need. Each act of letting go builds the muscle of non-attachment, making it easier to apply to bigger areas of life. The key is consistency, approaching the practice with curiosity rather than pressure. Non-attachment is also deeply tied to gratitude. When you're not focused on holding on to more, you begin to notice and appreciate what's already here. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, helping you see that you have enough and are enough. This mindset fosters a contentment that is unshaken by external circumstances. Another aspect of non-attachment is learning to let go of expectations, not just of others, but of yourself. Often we set rigid standards that create unnecessary pressure and self-criticism. By releasing these expectations, you allow yourself to grow and evolve naturally, free from the weight of self-imposed demands. This doesn't mean abandoning ambition. It means pursuing it with flexibility and grace. Non-attachment also encourages us to reflect on the stories we tell ourselves. These narratives often shape our perceptions and reactions, creating attachment to specific ideas of who we are or what life should be. By questioning these stories, we uncover deeper truths and let go of the limiting beliefs that hold us back. This process is both liberating and empowering, opening new possibilities for how we live and relate to the world. Greater than. In moments of stillness, non-attachment becomes most profound. When you sit quietly and observe your thoughts, you realize how fleeting they are, like clouds passing through the sky. This realization helps you see that you're not your thoughts, emotions, or circumstances. You are the observer, free to let these things come and go without being consumed by them. This awareness is the essence of freedom. Non-attachment is not about disengaging from life. It's about engaging with it more fully. When you let go of the need to control, possess, or avoid, you create space for flow, joy, and connection. Life becomes less about clinging to outcomes and more about embracing the journey. This shift doesn't just bring balance, it brings peace, a peace that remains no matter what changes come. Letting go through non-attachment creates space for freedom and balance, but in that space lies a profound opportunity to notice deeply and genuinely the richness of life. Gratitude takes this space and fills it with light. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, uncovering a quiet joy that runs through every moment. In Buddhist teachings, gratitude is not simply about saying thank you, but about awakening to the abundance that surrounds us and recognizing the beauty in both the ordinary and extraordinary. It is a practice that transforms how we see the world and ourselves. Gratitude begins with awareness. Often, life's blessings are so woven into our routines that we overlook them entirely. The ability to breathe deeply, to see the colors of the sunrise, to hear the laughter of a friend. These are gifts that go unnoticed when we focus solely on what we wish we had. Gratitude calls us to pause, to shift our attention, and to recognize these gifts as they are. It's not about creating something new, but uncovering what is already there, waiting to be appreciated. This practice also teaches us to reframe challenges. Difficult moments, while uncomfortable, often hold hidden lessons or opportunities for growth. Gratitude doesn't deny the pain of these experiences, but acknowledges the wisdom they can bring. It invites us to ask, "What is this teaching me?" or "How has this shaped me?" In this way, even hardship becomes part of the abundance we recognize, deepening our resilience and perspective. Gratitude in Buddhism is closely tied to the concept of interdependence. Nothing exists in isolation, and everything we have is connected to others. The food we eat, the clothes we wear, the roof over our heads. All these come from the efforts of countless people. When we practice gratitude, we begin to see these connections more clearly. We realize that our lives are supported by a vast web of generosity, and this awareness fosters a sense of humility and responsibility. By cultivating gratitude, we also deepen our compassion. When we recognize the abundance in our own lives, we become more attuned to the needs of others. Gratitude and generosity feed into one another, creating a cycle of giving and receiving. This cycle doesn't just benefit those around us, it enriches our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. Giving becomes a natural expression of gratitude, a way to share the abundance we've come to see. Greater than. The practice of gratitude can start with something as simple as reflection. Taking a moment each day to acknowledge what you are thankful for begins to shift your mindset. These moments don't need to be grand. Often, the smallest details carry the most weight. A kind word, a warm meal, or even the feeling of sunlight on your skin can become a source of gratitude when you bring your awareness to it. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice and appreciate more of these moments, creating a lasting sense of contentment. Gratitude also invites us to let go of comparison. Much of our dissatisfaction stems from looking at what others have and feeling that we fall short. Gratitude redirects our attention to our own lives, showing us that we already have enough. This shift doesn't just reduce envy, it nurtures a sense of inner peace that is unaffected by external circumstances. When you focus on what is rather than what isn't, you step out of the cycle of comparison and into a space of acceptance. In relationships, gratitude strengthens bonds. When we express appreciation for others, we create a foundation of trust and connection. A simple thank you can transform interactions, turning routine exchanges into moments of shared warmth. This practice also helps us see the good in others, even during conflicts. By focusing on what we value about someone rather than what frustrates us, we build a bridge of understanding that fosters harmony and respect. Gratitude also changes how we approach the future. Often we tie our happiness to goals or achievements, believing that fulfillment lies somewhere ahead. Gratitude grounds us in the present, reminding us that joy is not something to chase, but something to notice. This doesn't mean abandoning ambition. It means pursuing it with a sense of abundance rather than lack. When you appreciate what you have now, the path forward becomes less about filling a void and more about building on a foundation of contentment. Practicing gratitude also cultivates mindfulness. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you naturally become more present. You notice the details of your day, the colors, textures, and sounds that might otherwise fade into the background. This presence deepens your connection to life, allowing you to experience it fully rather than rushing through it. Gratitude and mindfulness reinforce one another, creating a cycle of awareness and appreciation that enriches every moment. Gratitude also has a profound effect on how we view ourselves. Often, we are our own harshest critics, focusing on what we lack or what we've done wrong. Gratitude shifts this perspective, encouraging us to acknowledge our strengths, achievements, and efforts. It teaches us to be kinder to ourselves, to recognize that we are enough, just as we are. This self-compassion creates a foundation for growth, allowing us to move forward with confidence and grace. One of the most transformative aspects of gratitude is its ability to bring light into darkness. In times of loss or difficulty, gratitude may feel impossible, but it is in these moments that it can be most powerful. By finding even a single thing to be thankful for, a supportive friend, a moment of peace, or a lesson learned, we begin to shift our focus from despair to hope. This practice doesn't erase the pain, but softens its edges, reminding us that there is still goodness to be found. Gratitude also connects us to nature. The natural world offers countless gifts: the air we breathe, the food we eat, the beauty that surrounds us. When we pause to appreciate these gifts, we deepen our connection to the earth and our responsibility to care for it. Gratitude for nature fosters a sense of stewardship, reminding us that our well-being is intertwined with the health of the planet. Greater than. In Buddhist teachings, gratitude is often expressed through rituals and offerings. These acts symbolize respect and appreciation for the teachings, the community, and the path. While these rituals are rooted in tradition, their essence can be carried into daily life. Acts of gratitude, whether lighting a candle, offering a kind word, or simply pausing to reflect, become a way to honor the abundance that surrounds us. Gratitude also enhances our spiritual practice. When we approach meditation, reflection, or prayer with a sense of thankfulness, we open ourselves to deeper insights and connections. Gratitude creates a mindset of openness and humility, allowing us to receive the wisdom and guidance that each moment offers. It transforms spiritual practice from a task into a source of joy and renewal. This practice also nurtures resilience. Life is filled with challenges, but gratitude helps us focus on what supports us through them. It reminds us that even in difficult times, there is still beauty, kindness, and hope. This perspective doesn't eliminate hardship, but gives us the strength to face it with courage and grace. Ultimately, gratitude is about connection. Connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. It dissolves barriers, fostering a sense of unity and belonging. When we practice gratitude, we tap into a wellspring of joy and peace that is always available, no matter the circumstances. This practice aligns with Buddhist teachings, reminding us that true abundance is not found in external things, but in the simple act of appreciating what is already here. Through gratitude, we discover a richness that fills not only our lives, but the lives of those around us. Gratitude teaches us to see the beauty in life, grounding us in the present and fostering connection. But sometimes, the simplest acts of mindfulness, like walking, can also become a gateway to a deeper awareness. Walking meditation is not about getting from one place to another. It's about being fully present with every step, every sensation, and every breath. It's a practice that unites mind, body, and spirit, turning the act of moving into a profound experience of alignment and peace. Walking is something most people do without thought. It's part of daily life, a way to move through the world. Yet, in this very simplicity lies an extraordinary opportunity. When you slow down and bring mindfulness to each step, walking becomes more than movement. It becomes a practice of presence. Each step connects you to the ground, to your breath, and to the moment. Walking meditation transforms the mundane into the meaningful, offering a way to reconnect with yourself and the world around you. Greater than. In walking meditation, the body leads the mind into stillness. Unlike sitting meditation, where stillness creates focus, walking meditation uses movement to anchor you. The rhythm of your steps becomes a natural point of attention, a way to gently guide your wandering mind back to the present. Each footfall becomes a reminder to return, to let go of distractions, and to simply be here. The repetition is soothing, like the ebb and flow of the ocean, creating a steady foundation for mindfulness. This practice invites you to notice the sensations of walking, the feel of your feet touching the ground, the shift of your weight, the way your body moves in harmony. Often we move through life disconnected from our bodies, focused on thoughts or tasks. Walking meditation brings you back, helping you inhabit your body fully. This awareness creates a sense of grounding and stability, reminding you that no matter what is happening, you are here, supported by the earth beneath you. Walking meditation also enhances your connection to your breath. As you walk slowly and mindfully, your breath naturally syncs with your movements. This synchronization creates a sense of flow, aligning your internal rhythm with your external actions. You may notice your breath deepening, your steps slowing, and a sense of calm settling over you. This harmony between breath and movement is a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of body and mind. In nature, walking meditation takes on another layer of richness. When you practice outdoors, you become attuned to the environment, the sound of leaves rustling, the warmth of the sun, the scent of the air. These details, often overlooked in daily life, become vivid and alive. Nature enhances the practice by grounding you not just in your body, but in the larger web of life. Walking meditation in nature is a way to honor this connection, to feel part of something greater than yourself. This practice also teaches patience. In a world driven by speed and efficiency, walking meditation invites you to slow down. There is no destination, no goal, no rush. The journey itself is the practice. Each step becomes an act of mindfulness, an opportunity to release the need for achievement and simply be. This slowing down creates space for reflection, allowing you to notice thoughts, emotions, and sensations with clarity and calm. Greater than. Walking meditation also fosters gratitude. As you move mindfully, you begin to notice the small wonders that surround you. The way sunlight filters through the trees, the texture of the ground beneath your feet, the rhythm of your own breath. These moments, so easily missed in the rush of life, become sources of appreciation and joy. Walking meditation reminds you that beauty is always present, waiting to be seen. The practice also deepens your awareness of impermanence. Each step you take is unique, a moment that arises and passes. This constant flow mirrors the nature of life itself, ever-changing, always moving. Walking meditation helps you embrace this impermanence, to find peace in the transient nature of each step, each breath, and each moment. This acceptance creates a sense of freedom, releasing the need to cling or resist. Walking meditation can also be a practice of letting go. As you walk, thoughts and worries may arise. Instead of clinging to them, you let them come and go, returning your attention to your steps. This practice of release, repeated with each footfall, trains your mind to loosen its grip on distractions and attachments. Over time, this skill extends beyond the practice, helping you let go more easily in daily life. This form of meditation also enhances self-compassion. When you practice walking meditation, you move with care and intention, treating yourself gently. This act of kindness toward your own body and mind fosters a deeper sense of self-compassion. It's a reminder that you deserve moments of peace and presence, that you can give yourself the gift of mindfulness without judgment or pressure. Walking meditation also strengthens resilience. Life often feels like a series of ups and downs, but the steady rhythm of mindful walking provides a sense of stability. Each step becomes a reminder that you can keep moving forward, even when the path feels uncertain. This resilience isn't about ignoring challenges, but about finding the strength to navigate them with grace and presence. The practice also enhances focus. By concentrating on the sensations of walking, you train your mind to stay present. This focus, developed over time, carries into other areas of life, improving your ability to concentrate and engage fully. Walking meditation becomes a tool for sharpening your attention, not just during the practice, but in everything you do. This form of meditation also fosters a sense of freedom. When you walk mindfully, you release the weight of expectations and distractions, stepping into a space of openness and ease. This freedom is not about escaping life, but about engaging with it fully, without the burden of judgment or hurry. Walking meditation becomes a reminder that freedom is not found in doing more, but in being present with what is. Walking meditation can also be a communal practice. Practicing with others creates a sense of shared presence, a connection that deepens the experience. In a group, the collective rhythm of steps becomes a powerful reminder of our interconnection. This communal aspect fosters a sense of belonging, reminding us that mindfulness is not just an individual journey, but a shared one. Incorporating walking meditation into daily life is simple yet transformative. You don't need a special place or a set amount of time. You can practice while walking to work, during a lunch break, or even in your own home. The key is intention, to bring awareness to each step, to let go of distractions, and to fully engage with the act of walking. This practice turns even the most ordinary moments into opportunities for mindfulness and peace. Greater than. Walking meditation also deepens your understanding of yourself. As you walk mindfully, you may notice patterns in your thoughts or emotions. These insights, gathered without judgment, help you understand your inner world more clearly. This self-awareness is not about fixing or changing, but about seeing yourself with honesty and compassion. It's a way to grow closer to yourself, step by step. Ultimately, walking meditation aligns mind, body, and spirit in a way that few practices can. It's a reminder that mindfulness doesn't require stillness. It can be found in movement, in the rhythm of your steps, in the connection between your breath and the world around you. Walking meditation transforms something as simple as taking a step into a profound act of presence, grounding you in the here and now with a sense of balance, peace, and connection. Walking meditation teaches us to align mind, body, and spirit, to embrace the simplicity and beauty of the present moment. But mindfulness extends beyond movement. It flows into every choice we make, shaping the way we live. The concept of mindful consumption takes this awareness and applies it to what we take into our lives, what we eat, what we watch, what we hear, and even what we surround ourselves with. Every decision about what we consume has the power to either nourish us or drain us. In the busyness of modern life, this practice offers a way to step back, reflect, and make choices that align with balance and peace. Mindful consumption begins with awareness. It's so easy to slip into autopilot, grabbing whatever is convenient or entertaining without considering its impact. But when you pause and pay attention to what you're consuming, you start to notice patterns. Are you eating food that supports your health, or relying on quick fixes that leave you feeling depleted? Are you consuming media that informs and inspires, or content that adds stress and negativity to your mind? Awareness is the first step toward making choices that truly serve you. Food is one of the most direct ways we engage with mindful consumption. Eating isn't just about fueling the body. It's an opportunity to nurture yourself. When you approach food mindfully, you notice the colors, textures, and flavors. You savor each bite, appreciating the effort and energy that went into its creation. This kind of eating isn't about restriction or guilt. It's about cultivating a relationship with food that's rooted in gratitude and intention. It's about asking yourself what your body truly needs and responding with kindness. Greater than. Mindful consumption of food also means thinking about its origins. Where did it come from? How was it produced? Choosing food that aligns with ethical and sustainable practices supports not just your health, but the well-being of the planet. Every meal becomes an act of connection, a reminder that the choices we make affect more than just ourselves. This perspective fosters a sense of responsibility and respect for the resources that nourish us. But mindful consumption goes far beyond food. The media we consume shapes how we think and feel. Endless scrolling through news, social media, or entertainment can leave us overstimulated, anxious, or disconnected. When you approach media mindfully, you become more selective about what you engage with. Instead of consuming out of habit or boredom, you choose content that uplifts, educates, or genuinely adds value to your life. This doesn't mean avoiding all entertainment, but it does mean being intentional about how much time and energy you give it. Mindful media consumption also involves being aware of how it influences your emotions and thoughts. Pay attention to how certain content makes you feel. Does it leave you inspired, or does it drain your energy? Does it cultivate gratitude or feed dissatisfaction? When you become more aware of these effects, you can set boundaries that protect your mental and emotional well-being. This might mean turning off notifications, limiting time on certain platforms, or choosing to disconnect entirely for a while. The concept of mindful consumption also extends to the material possessions in our lives. Consumer culture often equates happiness with acquiring more, but this mindset leads to clutter, both physical and mental. Simplifying your environment by consuming less and choosing quality over quantity can create a sense of clarity and peace. Mindful consumption in this area means asking yourself whether each item you bring into your life truly serves a purpose or brings joy. This practice reduces waste, saves resources, and creates a home that reflects your values. Mindful consumption helps us see the hidden costs of excess. When we overconsume, whether it's food, media, or possessions, we often end up feeling overwhelmed or dissatisfied. There's a sense of heaviness that comes from taking in too much. Simplifying what we consume isn't about deprivation. It's about creating space for what truly matters. It's about choosing depth over breadth, quality over quantity, and substance over distraction. Greater than. This practice also involves being mindful of how your consumption affects others. The products we buy, the services we use, and the resources we consume all have ripple effects. Choosing fair trade goods, supporting local businesses, or reducing waste are ways to align your consumption with your values. These choices may seem small, but collectively they have a profound impact. Mindful consumption reminds us that we're part of a larger whole, and our actions contribute to the well-being of the planet and its people. Mindful consumption nurtures gratitude. When you're intentional about what you take in, you develop a deeper appreciation for it. Instead of rushing through meals, you savor them. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, you engage meaningfully. This sense of gratitude enriches your experience, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for connection and joy. This practice also helps us build resilience. When we overconsume, we often do so to fill a void or escape discomfort. By consuming mindfully, we learn to sit with our emotions instead of numbing them. This creates space for growth and healing, allowing us to address the root causes of our dissatisfaction rather than masking them with distractions. Mindful consumption fosters presence. When you pay attention to what you're taking in, you naturally become more present. Eating becomes a sensory experience. Conversations become more engaging, and even mundane tasks take on new meaning. This presence enhances your connection to yourself and the world around you, making life feel richer and more fulfilling. This approach also cultivates self-awareness. As you reflect on your consumption habits, you begin to notice patterns, what you reach for when you're stressed, how certain choices affect your mood, and where you tend to overindulge. This awareness isn't about judgment, but about understanding. It gives you the power to make choices that align with your values and well-being. Mindful consumption also teaches us to slow down. In a world that glorifies speed and efficiency, taking the time to reflect on what you consume is a radical act. It's a way to reclaim your time and energy, to step out of the rush and into the present. This slowing down creates a sense of ease and balance that carries into every aspect of life. Through mindful consumption, we learn to align our choices with our intentions. Each decision becomes an opportunity to act in harmony with what matters most to us. This alignment creates a sense of integrity and purpose, making even small actions feel significant. It's a reminder that how we consume is a reflection of how we live. Mindful consumption also deepens our connection to nature. When we choose sustainable practices or reduce waste, we honor the planet's resources and the interdependence of all life. This connection fosters a sense of stewardship, reminding us that our well-being is intertwined with the health of the earth. Consuming mindfully becomes an act of care, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. At its core, mindful consumption is about making space for clarity, for connection, for joy. It's a practice of letting go of excess and embracing what truly nourishes us. This doesn't mean living a life of restriction, but a life of intention. By consuming mindfully, we create a foundation for balance and peace, one choice at a time. Greater than. Mindful consumption teaches us to curate what we allow into our lives, helping us simplify and align with our values. Yet, amidst the intentional choices of what we consume lies an even deeper practice, the embrace of silence. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it is a profound presence, a space where the mind settles and clarity emerges. In Buddhist teachings, silence is a doorway to insight, focus, and inner peace. A sanctuary that nurtures the spirit in a world filled with constant noise and distraction. Silence is powerful because it reveals what is often hidden. In the stillness, we begin to hear the subtle currents of our thoughts, emotions, and desires. These are often drowned out by the external world, but in silence, they rise to the surface, offering a chance to observe and understand them. This awareness allows us to disentangle ourselves from the mental chatter, creating space for clarity and calm. In silence, the mind learns to slow down. We live in a fast-paced world where multitasking is celebrated and stillness is seen as unproductive. Yet, silence is where the mind finds balance. When you sit in silence, without distractions, your thoughts might initially race, but over time, they begin to settle. This slowing down creates room for focus, helping you direct your attention with intention rather than scattering it across endless tasks and worries. Silence also deepens your connection to the present moment. Noise often pulls us away, filling our minds with thoughts of the past or future. But when you sit quietly, you become more attuned to the now. You notice the rhythm of your breath, the sensation of your body, and the subtleties of your environment. This presence is grounding, reminding you that the present moment is enough. The power of silence extends to relationships. In conversations, we often feel compelled to fill every pause, to respond quickly, or to assert our opinions. But silence creates space for listening. A listening that is not just about hearing words, but about understanding the person behind them. When we allow silence into our interactions, we open the door to deeper connection and empathy. It's in the quiet moments between words that true understanding often arises. Silence also invites us to confront discomfort. Many people avoid silence because it feels empty or unsettling, but this discomfort is often where growth begins. In silence, you can't escape your thoughts or distract yourself from difficult emotions. Instead, you are invited to sit with them, to acknowledge them without judgment, and to explore what they have to teach you. This practice builds resilience, teaching you to face challenges with courage and openness. Buddhist teachings emphasize silence as a tool for self-awareness. When you remove external noise, you create an opportunity to turn inward, to reflect on your values, intentions, and actions. This introspection is not about criticism, but about clarity. Silence becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner world and helping you align your choices with your deeper self. In silence, creativity flourishes. Without the constant input of noise, your mind has the freedom to wander, to explore, and to imagine. Silence gives your thoughts the space to breathe, allowing insights and ideas to emerge naturally. This creativity is not forced. It's a byproduct of the stillness that allows your mind to connect dots and uncover new perspectives. Silence also nurtures emotional balance. Noise often fuels reactive emotions, stress, irritation, or anxiety. But silence gives you a chance to pause, to step back, and to respond rather than react. In this stillness, you can process your feelings more clearly, understanding their roots and choosing how to engage with them. This emotional clarity fosters a sense of stability, even amidst chaos. Greater than. The practice of silence is deeply restorative. Just as the body needs rest to recover, the mind needs silence to rejuvenate. Noise overstimulates the brain, leaving us fatigued and scattered. Silence acts as a reset, calming the nervous system and restoring a sense of equilibrium. This restoration doesn't require long periods of silence. Even a few minutes of quiet reflection can make a significant difference. Silence also enhances spiritual growth. In Buddhist teachings, silence is seen as a space where wisdom arises. It's in the quiet that you can hear the subtle truths of existence, the insights that are often drowned out by the noise of daily life. This spiritual aspect of silence isn't tied to any specific belief system. It's about connecting with something deeper, whether that's your inner self, the universe, or a sense of purpose. Practicing silence also cultivates gratitude. When the noise fades, you begin to notice the richness of what remains, the sound of the wind, the rhythm of your breath, the warmth of the sun. These moments, often overlooked, become sources of joy and appreciation. Silence shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, nurturing a sense of abundance and contentment. Silence teaches patience. In a world that values immediacy, silence encourages you to slow down and let things unfold naturally. It reminds you that not every question needs an immediate answer, and not every problem requires instant action. This patience extends to how you approach yourself and others, creating a sense of ease and acceptance. Through silence, you develop a stronger connection to your body. When you sit quietly, you become more aware of physical sensations. the tension in your shoulders, the rhythm of your breath, the way your body feels grounded. This awareness helps you listen to your body's needs and respond with care. It's a reminder that your body is not just a vehicle for action, but a source of wisdom and presence. Silence also enhances focus. Without distractions, your mind can fully engage with whatever is in front of you. This focus is not about forcing attention, but about allowing it to naturally settle. Over time, this practice sharpens your ability to concentrate, making you more effective and present in all areas of life. The practice of silence can be integrated into daily life in simple ways. It might mean starting your day with a few moments of quiet reflection, stepping away from noise during breaks, or ending your day in stillness. These small acts of silence, when practiced consistently, create a rhythm of calm that weaves through your life. Greater than. Silence also fosters humility. When we quiet our voices, we create space to listen, not just to others, but to the world around us. We begin to see that we are part of something larger, that our words and actions are connected to a greater whole. This perspective nurtures a sense of respect and reverence, reminding us to tread lightly and speak thoughtfully. The power of silence is not about avoiding life, but engaging with it more deeply. It's about creating space to hear the truths that are often lost in the noise. Through silence, you find clarity, focus, and peace. Not as distant goals, but as experiences available in every moment. Silence is a teacher, a guide, and a refuge, offering wisdom to those willing to embrace its stillness. Silence teaches us to listen deeply, not just to the world around us, but to the quiet wisdom within. This wisdom, when accessed, often calls us to reflect on how we live, the choices we make, and the impact we have on others. While silence guides us inward, the 5 precepts of Buddhism offer a framework for outward action, providing an ethical compass that helps align our behavior with our values. These precepts are not rigid rules, but principles that cultivate integrity, harmony, and fulfillment in everyday life. The 5 precepts are simple yet profound guidelines for living ethically. They remind us that our actions ripple outward, affecting not only ourselves, but those around us. By committing to these principles, we create a life that reflects kindness, mindfulness, and responsibility. The precepts encourage us to live intentionally, to think beyond our immediate desires, and to act in ways that contribute to the well-being of others and ourselves. The first precept emphasizes non-harming. It's a call to approach all living beings with compassion and respect. This principle invites us to reflect on how our actions, both direct and indirect, impact others. It's not just about avoiding physical harm, but also considering how words, attitudes, and decisions can either uplift or hurt those around us. Practicing non-harming cultivates a mindset of empathy, encouraging us to see the interconnectedness of all life. This precept also extends to how we treat ourselves. Often, we are kinder to others than we are to ourselves, allowing self-criticism or neglect to harm our well-being. Living with integrity means acknowledging our own needs and treating ourselves with the same compassion we offer others. This balance creates a foundation of inner peace, allowing us to engage with the world from a place of wholeness rather than depletion. Greater than. The second precept focuses on honesty and respecting what belongs to others. It encourages us to move through life with a sense of fairness and accountability. This isn't just about avoiding theft. It's about recognizing the value of trust and integrity in relationships. When we act honestly, we build trust with those around us, creating connections that are genuine and lasting. Honesty also nurtures self-respect, as living in alignment with truth brings a sense of clarity and confidence. This principle also invites us to examine the subtler forms of taking credit that isn't ours, taking more than we need, or taking advantage of situations for personal gain. These actions may seem small, but they erode trust and integrity over time. By being mindful of how we take and what we give, we foster a sense of balance and fairness that enriches our interactions and our lives. The third precept encourages us to practice mindfulness in our relationships. It's a reminder to treat others with respect, to avoid exploiting or harming them for personal gratification. This principle is about cultivating healthy, honest, and compassionate connections with others. It challenges us to consider not just what we want, but how our actions affect those we interact with. This awareness leads to relationships rooted in mutual care and understanding. Mindfulness in relationships also means recognizing boundaries, both our own and those of others. It's about honoring the autonomy and dignity of those we connect with, ensuring that our actions come from a place of respect rather than self-interest. This practice creates relationships that are not only fulfilling, but also free from manipulation or harm, fostering trust and genuine connection. The fourth precept calls us to speak truthfully and kindly. Words have immense power. They can build bridges or tear them down, offer comfort or cause pain. This principle reminds us to use speech with intention, considering the impact of our words before we speak. It's not just about avoiding lies, but about cultivating communication that uplifts, heals, and connects. Practicing this precept involves more than what we say. It includes how we listen. Listening with presence and empathy is an act of kindness that strengthens relationships and deepens understanding. When we truly hear others, without judgment or distraction, we create space for connection and healing. This practice of mindful listening is as vital as speaking with integrity, as it reflects our respect for others' experiences and perspectives. The fifth precept encourages mindfulness in consumption, not only of substances that cloud the mind, but also of anything that affects our clarity and well-being. This includes what we watch, read, and listen to, as these inputs shape our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By being selective about what we take in, we create an environment that supports mindfulness and balance. This principle also reminds us of the importance of moderation. Overindulgence, whether in food, entertainment, or substances, can lead to distraction and dissatisfaction. Practicing moderation helps us stay grounded, maintaining a sense of control over our impulses and aligning our actions with our deeper intentions. This balance fosters a sense of freedom, as we are no longer driven by cravings or habits that do not serve us. Each of the 5 precepts invites us to reflect on the choices we make daily. They are not about perfection, but about progress, offering a framework to guide our actions with awareness and care. Living by these principles creates a ripple effect, as ethical actions inspire others and contribute to a more compassionate world. When we align our behavior with these values, we find that integrity is not just a moral ideal, but a path to fulfillment. Greater than. The precepts also teach us to take responsibility for our actions. Instead of blaming circumstances or others, we learn to reflect on how our choices shape our experiences. This accountability is empowering. It reminds us that we have the ability to create a life of meaning and purpose through the actions we take. By living with intention, we transform not only our own lives, but also the lives of those we touch. Buddhist teachings emphasize that the precepts are not commandments, but practices. They are invitations to explore how living ethically enhances our well-being and strengthens our connections. This exploration is deeply personal, as each person navigates the precepts in their own way, finding how they resonate with their unique path. This flexibility allows the principles to remain relevant and accessible, no matter where we are in life. The practice of the 5 precepts also fosters humility. They remind us that we are all imperfect and that growth is a lifelong journey. When we fall short of these principles, the teachings encourage us to respond with self-compassion rather than guilt. Each moment is an opportunity to begin again, to realign our actions with our values, and to move forward with renewed intention. Through the lens of the precepts, we see that ethics and mindfulness are deeply interconnected. Acting with integrity requires awareness, and cultivating awareness naturally leads to ethical choices. This synergy creates a life that is not only harmonious, but also deeply fulfilling, as our actions reflect our inner values and contribute to the greater good. The precepts are also a reminder of the interconnectedness of all beings. When we act with kindness, honesty, and respect, we strengthen the bonds that connect us. This sense of connection enriches our lives, reminding us that we're part of a larger whole. Living by the precepts becomes an act of service, not just to ourselves, but to the world around us. Ultimately, the 5 precepts are a guide to living with integrity, mindfulness, and compassion. They are not about restrictions, but about freedom, freedom from harm, deception, and imbalance. By embracing these principles, we create a life that is aligned with our values, grounded in mindfulness, and rich in connection. Through the precepts, we discover that ethical living is not just a practice, but a path to true fulfillment. Greater than. Living with integrity through the 5 precepts teaches us to act with awareness, respect, and compassion. These principles anchor us in a life of purpose and harmony, but even the most grounded life is shaped by an undeniable truth. Nothing lasts forever. This reality of impermanence can feel unsettling, yet within it lies profound freedom. Embracing change with grace allows us to navigate life with greater ease, releasing the fear of loss and cultivating deep contentment in the present. Impermanence is woven into every part of existence. Seasons shift, relationships evolve, and even our own thoughts and emotions ebb and flow. Nothing remains static, and this truth can either cause resistance or open the door to acceptance. By understanding impermanence, we learn to flow with life rather than fight against it. This mindset transforms change from a source of fear into a pathway to growth. Often, resistance to impermanence arises from attachment. We cling to what feels familiar, whether it's a person, a situation, or even an idea of who we are. This clinging creates tension, as life's natural rhythms inevitably pull us in new directions. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean giving up on what matters, but releasing the need to control it. This shift allows us to fully appreciate what is here now, knowing that its transience makes it all the more precious. Accepting impermanence teaches us to live in the present. When we dwell on the past or worry about the future, we miss the beauty of now. Recognizing that this moment is fleeting encourages us to savor it, to engage fully without distraction. This presence not only enhances our experiences, but also fosters gratitude as we become more attuned to the gifts each moment brings. Impermanence also helps us face challenges with resilience. Life's difficulties can feel overwhelming when we believe they will last forever. But when we remember that all things pass, we gain perspective. The knowledge that pain is temporary provides comfort and strength, allowing us to endure with patience and hope. This doesn't diminish the reality of hardship, but frames it within the broader context of change. Understanding impermanence also deepens our appreciation for joy. Happiness, like everything else, is not permanent. This truth might seem discouraging at first, but it's what makes joy so profound. Knowing that a moment of laughter or connection won't last forever encourages us to cherish it fully. Impermanence reminds us to celebrate life's fleeting pleasures, savoring them rather than taking them for granted. Greater than. Impermanence also encourages humility. When we acknowledge that everything, including ourselves, is subject to change, we become less attached to ego and more open to growth. This humility allows us to adapt, to learn, and to evolve without being weighed down by rigid identities or expectations. It's a liberation from the need to prove or preserve, making space for authenticity and self-discovery. This understanding of impermanence also nurtures compassion, recognizing that everyone is navigating the transient nature of life, fosters empathy. It reminds us that joy, pain, love, and loss are shared human experiences. This perspective softens judgment and deepens connection as we see others not as separate but as fellow travelers on the same ever-changing path. Impermanence also invites us to let go of perfectionism. When we accept that nothing lasts, we realize that striving for permanence, whether in achievements, relationships, or possessions, is futile. This insight frees us to pursue what truly matters without being paralyzed by the fear of imperfection. It shifts our focus from outcomes to the process, allowing us to find meaning and fulfillment in the journey itself. This acceptance of change also reduces fear. Much of our anxiety stems from the unknown, from the uncertainty of what lies ahead. But when we embrace impermanence, we see uncertainty not as a threat, but as a natural part of life. This perspective fosters courage, as we learn to face the unknown with curiosity and trust rather than resistance. Impermanence also enriches our relationships. Knowing that our time with others is limited encourages us to be fully present and to express love and appreciation openly. It reminds us not to take connections for granted, to resolve conflicts with kindness, and to create memories that endure even as circumstances change. This awareness deepens the quality of our relationships, making them more meaningful and intentional. The practice of accepting impermanence also extends to our relationship with ourselves. We often cling to past versions of who we were or set rigid expectations for who we should be. Embracing change allows us to release these constraints and honor our growth. It encourages self-compassion, reminding us that transformation is a natural and necessary part of life. Impermanence also invites us to reflect on our priorities. When we recognize that time is finite, we become more intentional about how we spend it. This awareness helps us align our actions with our values, focusing on what truly matters rather than getting caught up in distractions. It's a reminder to live with purpose, to create a life that reflects our deepest intentions. This understanding of impermanence also fosters a sense of wonder. When we see the world as constantly evolving, we begin to appreciate its dynamism and beauty. Each moment becomes a unique expression of life's endless creativity. This perspective invites us to approach life with curiosity and awe, finding joy in the ever-changing tapestry of existence. Greater than. Embracing impermanence also helps us navigate loss. Whether it's the end of a relationship, the passing of a loved one, or the closing of a chapter, loss is an inevitable part of life. While it brings pain, it also holds the potential for transformation. Accepting impermanence doesn't erase grief, but allows us to hold it with grace, finding meaning and growth in the midst of change. Impermanence also teaches us to let go of control. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of planning or effort can guarantee outcomes. By releasing the need to control everything, we create space for flow and spontaneity. This surrender is not passive, but an active choice to trust life's unfolding, finding peace in its natural rhythms. This perspective also fosters gratitude for life's simplicity. When we accept that nothing lasts, we begin to see the value in small, everyday moments. A shared meal, a kind word, a quiet evening. These moments, though fleeting, become sources of profound joy and connection. Impermanence teaches us to find contentment not in grand achievements, but in the richness of the present. Ultimately, embracing impermanence is about freedom. It's the freedom to live without clinging, to love without fear, and to face life's uncertainties with grace. This freedom doesn't come from denying change, but from accepting it fully, allowing us to move through life with a sense of peace and wonder. Impermanence is not a loss, but a gift, a reminder that life's beauty lies in its impermanence, in the ever-changing flow that makes each moment unique and precious. Accepting impermanence opens the door to freedom by teaching us how to embrace life's changes with grace. But true peace comes from cultivating something deeper, a steady calmness that remains unshaken regardless of what life brings. This is equanimity, the ability to maintain balance in the face of both joy and sorrow, success and failure. It is not detachment or indifference, but a profound inner stability that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with clarity and ease. In a world that constantly shifts, equanimity is the anchor that keeps us grounded. Equanimity begins with self-awareness. Without recognizing how your emotions ebb and flow, it's easy to be swept away by them. By observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, you create a space between yourself and your reactions. This space gives you the freedom to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Self-awareness isn't about suppressing emotions, but about acknowledging them with understanding, allowing you to move through them with balance. Greater than. This balance is rooted in perspective. When faced with challenges, it's tempting to see them as permanent or overwhelming. Equanimity teaches us to take a step back and view the situation within the broader context of life. Everything is temporary, and recognizing this impermanence helps us avoid clinging to fleeting moments or resisting inevitable changes. Perspective softens the edges of hardship and allows us to approach difficulties with patience and resilience. Equanimity also invites us to let go of attachment to outcomes. Much of our stress and frustration comes from clinging to specific results or expectations. When things don't go as planned, we feel defeated or upset. Cultivating equanimity means embracing the process rather than fixating on the outcome. It's about putting forth your best effort and then accepting whatever unfolds. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, but a willingness to trust the flow of life, even when it diverges from your plans. The practice of equanimity also involves understanding the nature of emotions. Feelings, whether positive or negative, are like waves. They rise, peak, and eventually fade. By observing this natural rhythm, you can avoid being consumed by intense emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing joy or grief, but approaching both with a steady heart. When happiness arises, you enjoy it without clinging. When pain surfaces, you endure it without despair. This balanced approach reduces emotional extremes and fosters a deep sense of calm. Equanimity is closely tied to the practice of non-reactivity. In moments of conflict or challenge, it's easy to react defensively or emotionally. Equanimity teaches you to pause, to breathe, and to reflect before responding. This pause creates clarity, allowing you to choose actions that align with your values rather than being driven by immediate impulses. Non-reactivity doesn't mean indifference. It's a deliberate choice to respond with wisdom and composure. Another key aspect of equanimity is learning to accept uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and trying to control or predict everything creates anxiety. Equanimity invites you to embrace uncertainty with openness and curiosity. It's a reminder that not knowing is a natural part of life, and that peace can be found in trusting the unfolding of each moment. This trust reduces fear and allows you to move forward with confidence, even when the path ahead is unclear. Equanimity also involves cultivating compassion for yourself and for others. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to become self-critical or frustrated with those around you. Compassion softens this tendency, reminding you that imperfection is part of the human experience. By treating yourself and others with kindness, you create an inner environment of support and understanding, which strengthens your ability to remain calm amidst challenges. Greater than. This practice also teaches us to let go of judgment. Often we categorize experiences, people, or emotions as good or bad, creating unnecessary tension. Equanimity encourages us to see things as they are, without assigning labels or attaching value. This neutral perspective allows us to approach life with openness, finding lessons and growth even in situations we might initially resist. Equanimity is further nurtured by cultivating gratitude. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you create a foundation of contentment that supports emotional stability. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, making it easier to remain calm and centered, even when faced with challenges. It's a reminder that peace comes not from having everything, but from appreciating what is already here. Another element of equanimity is understanding the interconnectedness of all things. Life is a web of interdependent experiences, and recognizing this connection helps you approach situations with humility and understanding. When you see yourself as part of a greater whole, you become less consumed by personal struggles and more attuned to the larger flow of life. This perspective fosters a sense of balance, as you understand that no single moment or event defines your entire existence. Equanimity also requires practice. It's not something you achieve overnight, but a skill developed through consistent effort. Meditation, mindfulness, and reflection are powerful tools for cultivating equanimity. These practices train your mind to stay present, to observe without attachment, and to navigate life with steadiness. Over time, these habits create a deep reservoir of calm that you can draw upon in any situation. The benefits of equanimity extend beyond personal peace. When you remain calm amidst life's ups and downs, you become a source of stability for those around you. Your presence has a calming effect, inspiring others to approach challenges with patience and composure. This ripple effect amplifies the impact of equanimity, spreading peace and understanding through your relationships and community. Equanimity also transforms how you view success and failure. Instead of tying your self-worth to external achievements, you begin to see both success and failure as temporary experiences. This detachment allows you to pursue goals with passion while maintaining a sense of inner stability. You learn to celebrate victories without arrogance and to accept setbacks without despair, creating a balanced approach to life's highs and lows. In daily life, equanimity helps you respond to stress with resilience. Whether it's a difficult conversation, an unexpected obstacle, or a moment of uncertainty, equanimity provides the grounding to face challenges with clarity and strength. This resilience doesn't eliminate difficulties, but equips you to navigate them with grace, preserving your peace of mind even in turbulent times. Equanimity also fosters a sense of freedom. When you're no longer controlled by external circumstances or internal reactions, you experience a profound sense of liberation. This freedom allows you to engage with life fully, to embrace its complexities without being overwhelmed. It's not about avoiding emotions, but about moving through them with balance and understanding. Ultimately, equanimity is a practice of letting go, of attachment, judgment, and resistance. It's a way of finding peace not by escaping life's challenges, but by embracing them with an open heart and a steady mind. This practice creates a life of balance and fulfillment, where you are no longer swayed by every wave, but remain grounded in the calmness of your own being. Equanimity is not an end goal, but a way of living that transforms every moment into an opportunity for peace and growth. Greater than. Equanimity teaches us to remain balanced, to stand steady no matter how life's waves rise and fall. Yet, to live with such grace requires a path, a structure to guide our intentions, actions, and thoughts. The Eightfold Path offers just that, a complete framework for living a balanced and meaningful life. Rooted in wisdom, ethics, and mental discipline, this path is not a distant ideal, but a practical guide, one that can be woven seamlessly into the fabric of modern life. It speaks to those seeking harmony amidst chaos, clarity amidst confusion, and purpose amidst the mundane. The Eightfold Path begins with right understanding. This is the foundation of all other aspects, urging us to see life as it truly is, without illusion or denial. It calls for an understanding of the Four Noble Truths, the nature of suffering, its origin, its cessation, and the path leading to its end. In daily life, this means recognizing the patterns that cause distress, both in our minds and in the world around us. Right understanding encourages curiosity, reflection, and openness, urging us to ask deeper questions about our choices and their consequences. Next is right intention, which guides us to align our thoughts with kindness, compassion, and wisdom. Intentions shape actions, and when they stem from goodwill rather than greed or harm, they bring peace to both ourselves and others. Practically, this means pausing before reacting, asking whether your motives are rooted in care or self-interest. Right intention reminds us that small shifts in thought can lead to profound changes in how we interact with the world. Right speech transforms how we communicate. Words are powerful. They can uplift or wound, connect or divide. This aspect of the path urges us to speak truthfully, kindly, and thoughtfully. It challenges us to move away from gossip, harsh criticism, or idle chatter, and instead use words to build understanding and connection. In practice, this might mean choosing to remain silent when words are unnecessary, or reframing a complaint into constructive feedback. Right speech teaches us that what we say reflects who we are. Right action focuses on how we behave. It encourages us to act in ways that align with ethical principles, avoiding harm and contributing positively to the lives of others. This doesn't mean grand gestures, but everyday choices. Treating people with respect, being mindful of how your actions affect the environment, or offering a helping hand when needed. Right action reminds us that integrity is built in the small moments of life, in how we show up even when no one is watching. Right livelihood emphasizes choosing work that is ethical and contributes to the greater good. In a world that often prioritizes profit over people, this aspect challenges us to reflect on the impact of our professions. It's not just about earning a living, but about finding work that aligns with our values and supports the well-being of others. Right livelihood reminds us that our careers can be a source of meaning and connection, not just a means to an end. Right effort focuses on cultivating positive qualities and letting go of harmful ones. It's about dedicating energy to what uplifts and strengthens, rather than what diminishes. This doesn't mean striving relentlessly, but finding a balance between perseverance and patience. In daily life, right effort might involve choosing to spend time on activities that nurture your growth, like learning, helping others, or practicing mindfulness. It's about building habits that bring clarity and peace, while gently releasing those that don't. Greater than. Right mindfulness invites us to live with awareness. It's the practice of being fully present, noticing the details of each moment without judgment. In modern life, where distractions are constant, mindfulness can feel elusive. But it can be cultivated through simple acts, focusing on your breath during a stressful moment, truly tasting your food instead of rushing through a meal, or listening deeply in a conversation. Right mindfulness teaches us to approach life with curiosity and acceptance, finding beauty and peace in the here and now. Right concentration sharpens our focus and deepens our connection to the present. It's about cultivating the mental clarity needed to stay engaged and steady, even amidst distractions or challenges. Through meditation or focused attention, right concentration trains the mind to remain calm and purposeful. This practice enhances not only your ability to stay present, but also your capacity for insight, creativity, and resilience. Each element of the Eightfold Path is interconnected, supporting and strengthening the others. Together, they create a balanced approach to life, one that fosters wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. This path is not about perfection, but about progress, about making intentional choices that align with your values and nurture your well-being. In modern life, the Eightfold Path is a reminder that balance is not found in extremes, but in integration. It's about bringing mindfulness to every aspect of your day, from how you think to how you speak, act, and work. This path doesn't require dramatic changes, but small, consistent efforts, moments of awareness and intention that add up to a life of meaning and harmony. Through the Eightfold Path, we learn that a fulfilling life is not built on external achievements, but on the quality of our thoughts, actions, and relationships. It's a guide to living with purpose, resilience, and joy, showing us that balance is not a destination, but a way of being. This path invites us to walk with intention, to embrace each moment with clarity and care, and to find peace not despite life's challenges, but because of how we choose to meet them. The Eightfold Path offers a blueprint for a balanced life, guiding us toward actions, thoughts, and choices that align with integrity and peace. Yet, amidst all the principles of right living lies another profound truth. Life becomes clearer and lighter when it is stripped of unnecessary complexities. Embracing simplicity is not about giving up what we need, but about discovering the joy and freedom in needing less. Simplicity, rooted in Buddhist philosophy, teaches us how to create a life filled with purpose and clarity by letting go of the things that weigh us down. Greater than. Simplicity begins with recognizing what truly matters. Modern life often encourages accumulation of possessions, responsibilities, and even expectations. This constant pursuit can feel overwhelming, leaving little room for reflection or peace. When we embrace simplicity, we shift our focus from quantity to quality, asking ourselves what genuinely adds value to our lives. It's not about deprivation, but about consciously choosing what nurtures and sustains us, whether that's relationships, experiences, or even the space to simply be. Living with less creates clarity. When physical clutter surrounds us, it mirrors mental and emotional clutter. By letting go of the unnecessary, we free our minds to focus on what's meaningful. The act of decluttering, whether it's a room or a schedule, is not just about removing things. It's about creating space for peace and intentionality. Each item or commitment we release is an opportunity to connect more deeply with ourselves and the world around us. Simplicity also fosters gratitude. When we stop chasing more, we begin to appreciate what we already have. This shift in perspective turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. A simple meal becomes a moment of nourishment. A quiet walk becomes a source of joy, and a kind word becomes deeply meaningful. Gratitude, born from simplicity, transforms how we view our lives, shifting the focus from what is missing to what is present. Living simply also reduces stress. The more we accumulate, the more we have to maintain, protect, and manage. This creates a cycle of busyness that often detracts from our ability to be present. Simplicity breaks this cycle, allowing us to prioritize what aligns with our values rather than being driven by external pressures. With fewer distractions, we find it easier to stay grounded and calm, even amidst life's challenges. This way of living also deepens our connection to others. When we let go of material pursuits as the measure of success or happiness, we begin to value relationships over possessions. Simplicity teaches us that shared experiences and authentic connections bring far more joy than anything we can own. It's about being present with those we care about, free from the distractions of what we think we need to achieve or acquire. Embracing simplicity also nurtures creativity. When life is less cluttered, the mind has space to explore, imagine, and create. The freedom from constant consumption allows us to focus on what we can build, express, and contribute. Creativity flourishes in simplicity because it thrives on clarity and openness, unburdened by the noise of excess. Greater than. Simplicity extends to how we consume. Choosing to live with less invites us to think carefully about what we bring into our lives, whether it's food, clothing, or media. This mindfulness fosters a deeper sense of responsibility, both to ourselves and to the world. By consuming less and choosing thoughtfully, we reduce waste, support sustainability, and align our actions with our values. This way of living also strengthens self-awareness. When we simplify, we learn to differentiate between what we want and what we truly need. This distinction helps us understand our motivations and desires more clearly, leading to greater self-acceptance and peace. Simplicity becomes a mirror, reflecting back what is essential and guiding us toward a more authentic way of being. Simplicity teaches us the value of presence. When we're not constantly seeking more, we can fully engage with what is in front of us. This presence turns everyday moments into sources of joy and meaning. Whether it's savoring a cup of tea, watching the sunrise, or having a heartfelt conversation, simplicity reminds us that life's beauty often lies in its simplest moments. This practice also cultivates freedom. The less we're attached to possessions or external validation, the freer we become to live authentically. Simplicity liberates us from the need to compare, compete, or conform, allowing us to focus on what brings true fulfillment. This freedom is not about rejecting the world, but about engaging with it on our own terms, with clarity and purpose. Simplicity also enhances our relationship with time. When life is cluttered, it's easy to feel like there's never enough time. But when we simplify, we begin to see time not as a resource to be managed, but as a gift to be cherished. We prioritize activities and relationships that align with our values, creating a sense of abundance and balance. Time becomes a friend rather than a source of stress. Living simply also fosters humility. When we let go of the need to prove ourselves through material success or achievements, we become more grounded. This humility opens the door to deeper connections with others, as we approach life with authenticity and respect rather than ego. Simplicity reminds us that our worth is not defined by what we have, but by how we live and connect with the world. This philosophy also helps us embrace impermanence. When we stop clinging to possessions or outcomes, we become more accepting of life's changes. Simplicity teaches us that nothing lasts forever, and that this transience is what makes life beautiful. By letting go of attachment, we find peace in the flow of life, appreciating each moment for what it is. Simplicity also nurtures resilience. When we rely less on external things for happiness, we become more self-sufficient. This inner strength helps us navigate challenges with grace, knowing that our sense of peace comes from within rather than from what we own or achieve. Simplicity becomes a source of stability, grounding us even when life feels uncertain. Through simplicity, we also rediscover joy. When life is less cluttered, we can find delight in the smallest things: a smile, a breeze, a moment of quiet. This joy is not fleeting but enduring, rooted in a deep appreciation for life's simplicity. It reminds us that happiness is not found in acquiring more, but in fully experiencing what we already have. Greater than. Simplicity also encourages mindfulness. When life is stripped of excess, we become more aware of each moment. This awareness deepens our connection to ourselves, others, and the world around us. Simplicity teaches us to move through life with intention, making choices that reflect our values and bring us closer to what truly matters. Ultimately, embracing simplicity is about creating space, not just physical space, but mental and emotional space. It's about letting go of what no longer serves us to make room for what does. Simplicity invites us to live with clarity, purpose, and joy, reminding us that life's greatest treasures are often the simplest. Through simplicity, we find not just balance but a profound sense of peace, knowing that we already have enough. Embracing simplicity allows us to find joy in what is essential, freeing us from the burden of excess. Yet, even in a simplified life, there can be a weight we carry that is not seen but deeply felt, the weight of past hurts and lingering resentments. These emotional burdens can quietly drain our energy and cloud our present. The art of letting go is not a single act, but a journey of releasing what no longer serves us, making space for healing, peace, and renewal. Forgiveness and acceptance are powerful tools in this journey, helping us to heal the wounds that time alone cannot mend. Letting go begins with acknowledging the pain. Often, we avoid facing past hurts because they bring discomfort or vulnerability. But by confronting these emotions head-on, we begin to dissolve their power over us. This acknowledgement is not about dwelling on the past, but about recognizing its impact. It allows us to understand the roots of our resentment, whether it stems from betrayal, loss, or unmet expectations. This clarity is the first step toward healing, as it gives us insight into how we have been affected and why letting go is essential for our well-being. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of letting go, but it is often misunderstood. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior or denying the hurt it caused. Instead, it is a conscious decision to release the hold that resentment has on our hearts. By forgiving, we reclaim our power, choosing peace over the need for retribution or validation. This release is not just for the benefit of others, but primarily for ourselves, as it frees us from the chains of anger and bitterness that keep us anchored to the past. Acceptance works hand in hand with forgiveness. While forgiveness releases the emotional grip of past events, acceptance acknowledges that what happened cannot be changed. This acceptance is not resignation, but a form of surrender to reality. It allows us to stop resisting the truth and begin integrating it into our lives in a way that fosters growth and resilience. Acceptance also encourages us to focus on the present, where true healing takes place. Letting go also involves releasing the stories we tell ourselves about the past. These narratives often reinforce our pain, keeping us trapped in a cycle of victimhood. By reframing these stories, we can find new meaning in our experiences. This reframing doesn't change what happened, but changes how we relate to it. It transforms wounds into wisdom, showing us that even in our deepest pain, there is a lesson or strength to be discovered. Forgiveness and acceptance also nurture self-compassion. Often, the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. We carry guilt, shame, or regret for things we wish we had done differently. By extending the same kindness to ourselves that we offer to others, we begin to heal these inner wounds. Self-compassion teaches us that we are human, that mistakes are part of our journey, and that growth often comes from our most challenging moments. Greater than. The act of letting go also liberates us from the need for external validation. When we hold on to grudges, we often wait for apologies or acknowledgement from others. This dependence places our healing in someone else's hands, leaving us powerless. Letting go shifts the focus back to ourselves, empowering us to find closure and peace independent of anyone else's actions or words. This internal locus of control fosters a deeper sense of self-reliance and inner strength. Practicing forgiveness also enhances our relationships. When we let go of past grievances, we make room for more authentic connections. We approach others with an open heart rather than a guarded one, allowing for greater trust and intimacy. This openness invites mutual understanding, reducing the likelihood of future conflicts and strengthening the bonds we share with those around us. Letting go also involves setting healthy boundaries. While forgiveness is about releasing resentment, it does not mean allowing harmful behavior to continue. Boundaries protect our well-being and ensure that we do not become entangled in cycles of hurt. By clearly communicating our limits, we honor our worth and create a safe space for healing. Boundaries are acts of self-respect, teaching others how we deserve to be treated. The process of letting go also encourages us to embrace vulnerability. Holding on to resentment can create a protective shell, shielding us from further pain, but also from deeper connections. Vulnerability, though uncomfortable, is where true connection and healing occur. It allows us to express our needs, share our truths, and receive support from others. This openness transforms our relationships, making them more authentic and fulfilling. Forgiveness also fosters gratitude. When we release the weight of past hurts, we become more attuned to the blessings of the present. We recognize that while pain is a part of life, so is joy, love, and connection. This gratitude shifts our focus from what we have lost to what we have gained, nurturing a sense of abundance and contentment. Greater than. Letting go also strengthens our resilience. As we navigate the complexities of life, learning to release what no longer serves us builds emotional endurance. This resilience doesn't mean we are unaffected by pain, but that we can move through it without becoming defined by it. Resilience empowers us to face new challenges with courage and optimism, knowing that we have the strength to heal and grow. The art of letting go is also about cultivating inner peace. When we are no longer tethered to past grievances, our minds and hearts become clearer. This clarity enhances our ability to focus, to be present, and to engage with life fully. Inner peace is not the absence of difficulties, but the presence of a steady calm amidst them. It is the quiet strength that allows us to navigate life's storms with grace. Letting go also involves embracing the present moment. Resentment keeps us anchored in the past, preventing us from fully experiencing the now. By releasing old hurts, we open ourselves to the richness of the present, its opportunities, joys, and connections. This presence is where true healing and transformation occur, as we learn to appreciate the unfolding of each day without the shadow of yesterday. Ultimately, the art of letting go is a path to freedom. It frees us from the burdens of the past, from the limitations of resentment, and from the need for control. This freedom is not about forgetting, but about choosing how we carry our experiences. It's about transforming pain into purpose, wounds into wisdom, and hurt into hope. Through letting go, we discover that true strength lies not in holding on, but in the courage to release. This release is where we find our deepest peace, our truest selves, and the boundless potential of a life unburdened. Letting go opens the heart and mind to freedom, allowing us to move forward unburdened by the weight of the past. Yet, freedom also calls for direction, a guiding principle that aligns our choices with a deeper purpose. This is where the concept of Dharma comes into play. Dharma, rooted in ancient wisdom, is not a rigid doctrine, but a living truth, an understanding of the natural order that fosters harmony and balance. It calls us to act with intention, integrity, and awareness, offering a way to navigate life's complexities while staying true to universal values. Dharma begins with recognizing that every action we take has a ripple effect. The choices we make, whether small or large, contribute to the harmony or discord of the world around us. Living in accordance with Dharma means choosing actions that align with truth, compassion, and justice. It is a way of living that respects both individual needs and the greater good, reminding us that our lives are deeply interconnected with those of others. Central to the concept of Dharma is the idea of purpose. Each person has a unique role to play in the tapestry of life, and understanding this role brings clarity and fulfillment. Dharma is not about conforming to societal expectations, but about aligning with one's inner calling. It invites us to reflect on our strengths, passions, and values, using them to contribute meaningfully to the world. When we live with purpose, our actions become more intentional, and life feels more aligned with a sense of flow. Dharma also teaches balance. Life often pulls us in many directions, and without a guiding principle, it's easy to become overwhelmed or distracted. Dharma provides a steady compass, helping us prioritize what truly matters. This balance isn't about perfection, but about making choices that nurture harmony within ourselves and our relationships. It reminds us to honor both our personal well-being and our responsibilities to others. Greater than. Living in accordance with Dharma also involves integrity. It calls us to act truthfully and ethically, even when faced with challenges or temptations. This integrity is not just about external behavior, but about inner alignment, ensuring that our thoughts, words, and actions reflect our deepest values. When we live with integrity, we build trust with ourselves and others, creating relationships that are grounded in respect and authenticity. Dharma also emphasizes the importance of awareness. To live in harmony with universal truth, we must first be present to it. This awareness involves observing the world with curiosity and openness, noticing the patterns and rhythms that guide life. It also means being attuned to our inner world, understanding our emotions, intentions, and desires. Awareness helps us navigate life with clarity, making choices that reflect wisdom rather than impulse. Another key aspect of Dharma is responsibility. Living in alignment with truth means taking responsibility for our actions and their impact. It requires us to recognize our role in creating harmony or discord, both in our personal lives and in the broader world. This responsibility is empowering, as it reminds us that we have the ability to contribute positively to the world through our choices and actions. Dharma also teaches us to embrace adaptability. Life is dynamic, and circumstances often change in ways we cannot control. Living in accordance with Dharma means remaining flexible, responding to challenges with creativity and resilience. It's about staying true to core values while adapting to the realities of the moment. This adaptability ensures that we remain balanced and effective, even in the face of uncertainty. The practice of Dharma also nurtures humility. It reminds us that we are part of a greater whole, interconnected with all living beings. This perspective encourages us to approach life with respect and gratitude, recognizing that our actions are not isolated, but part of a larger web of cause and effect. Humility allows us to listen, learn, and grow, fostering deeper connections with others and with the world. Dharma also invites us to find joy in service. When we align our actions with the greater good, we experience a sense of purpose that transcends personal gain. Service becomes an expression of love and compassion, a way to contribute to the well-being of others while deepening our own fulfillment. This joy is not found in grand gestures, but in everyday acts of kindness and generosity. Living in alignment with Dharma also helps us navigate conflict. When disagreements arise, Dharma encourages us to seek understanding rather than dominance. It teaches us to approach challenges with patience and empathy, finding solutions that honor both our needs and those of others. This approach transforms conflict into an opportunity for growth and connection. Dharma also fosters resilience. By aligning with universal truth, we develop a sense of inner strength that sustains us through life's ups and downs. This resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them with courage and wisdom. Dharma provides a steady foundation, helping us remain grounded and focused even in turbulent times. Greater than. The practice of Dharma also cultivates gratitude. By living in harmony with the natural order, we become more attuned to the beauty and abundance of life. This gratitude deepens our appreciation for both the challenges and the blessings we encounter, fostering a sense of contentment and peace. Another important aspect of Dharma is mindfulness. To live in alignment with truth, we must be fully present to the moment. Mindfulness allows us to engage with life intentionally, making choices that reflect our values and aspirations. It also helps us recognize when we are out of alignment, giving us the opportunity to course correct with compassion and clarity. Dharma also emphasizes the importance of community. Living in harmony with universal truth involves recognizing our interdependence and working toward the collective good. This doesn't mean sacrificing ourselves, but finding ways to contribute to the well-being of others while honoring our own needs. Community becomes a source of support, inspiration, and accountability, enriching our lives and deepening our sense of purpose. Ultimately, Dharma is a guide to living authentically. It invites us to align our actions with our values, our purpose with the greater good, and our lives with the natural rhythms of the world. This alignment creates a sense of harmony and fulfillment, transforming how we experience ourselves and our place in the world. Through Dharma, we discover that true balance is not about achieving perfection, but about living with intention, integrity, and compassion. It is a lifelong practice, one that continues to deepen and evolve as we grow. Living in alignment with Dharma teaches us to act with integrity, mindfulness, and purpose. It anchors us in a life that harmonizes personal fulfillment with collective well-being. Yet, in a world where ambition often drives us, there is a delicate balance to strike between striving for goals and finding peace in the present. This balance between ambition and contentment is one of the most profound lessons of Buddhist philosophy. It shows us how to pursue growth and success without losing sight of inner tranquility, turning ambition into a source of joy rather than stress. Ambition, when rooted in mindfulness, can be a powerful force for positive change. It motivates us to expand our potential, explore new possibilities, and contribute meaningfully to the world. However, when ambition becomes entangled with greed, attachment, or the need for validation, it can disrupt our peace and lead to a sense of dissatisfaction. Balancing ambition with contentment begins with understanding the intention behind our goals. By asking why we desire something, we gain clarity on whether it aligns with our values and supports our well-being, or whether it stems from societal pressures or ego. Contentment, on the other hand, is not about complacency. It does not mean giving up on dreams or settling for less than what we're capable of achieving. Instead, contentment is a state of gratitude and acceptance for the present moment, recognizing the abundance that already exists in our lives. This mindset allows us to pursue goals from a place of wholeness rather than lack. When we are content, our ambition is no longer driven by a need to fill an internal void, but by a genuine desire to grow and contribute. Balancing these two forces requires embracing impermanence. In life, achievements and setbacks are fleeting, and attaching our sense of self-worth to them creates instability. By understanding that success and failure are temporary, we learn to appreciate the process of striving rather than fixating on the outcome. This perspective allows us to celebrate progress without becoming overly attached to results, fostering a sense of joy and freedom in our pursuits. Greater than. Ambition must also be guided by ethical mindfulness. When we chase goals at the expense of others or compromise our values, we undermine the very peace we seek to cultivate. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of pursuing success with integrity, ensuring that our actions uplift rather than harm. This approach not only leads to more meaningful accomplishments, but also strengthens our relationships and sense of self-respect. Contentment, too, thrives when we practice gratitude. By appreciating what we have, we cultivate a mindset of abundance that counters the restless desire for more. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is missing to what is present, allowing us to pursue goals with a sense of appreciation rather than dissatisfaction. It reminds us that success is not measured solely by external achievements, but by the depth of our inner peace and fulfillment. The balance between ambition and contentment also involves cultivating self-awareness. By observing our thoughts and emotions, we can recognize when ambition becomes unhealthy, when it leads to stress, comparison, or a sense of inadequacy. This awareness helps us pause, reflect, and recalibrate our goals to ensure they align with our well-being. Self-awareness also nurtures contentment, as it allows us to acknowledge and honor our progress without the need for constant external validation. This balance is further supported by practicing detachment. Detachment does not mean giving up on goals, but releasing the need for specific outcomes. It's about focusing on the effort rather than the result, trusting that whatever unfolds is part of a greater process. Detachment frees us from the fear of failure and the pressure to succeed, allowing us to engage fully in our endeavors without being consumed by them. Another important aspect of balancing ambition and contentment is recognizing the value of rest. In a culture that often glorifies productivity, rest can feel like a luxury rather than a necessity. However, rest is essential for maintaining both physical and mental well-being. It creates the space for reflection, creativity, and renewal, ensuring that our ambition is sustainable and not driven by burnout. Rest also deepens our contentment, reminding us that life's beauty lies not just in doing, but in being. Buddhist teachings also encourage us to redefine success. Instead of measuring success by wealth, status, or recognition, we are invited to see it as living in alignment with our values, fostering meaningful relationships, and contributing to the greater good. This perspective shifts our goals from external markers to internal growth, creating a sense of fulfillment that is independent of circumstances. Success becomes less about what we achieve and more about who we become in the process. The practice of mindfulness is another powerful tool for balancing ambition and contentment. Mindfulness grounds us in the present moment, allowing us to approach our goals with focus and clarity. It helps us savor the journey rather than rushing toward the destination, finding joy in each step of the process. Mindfulness also fosters contentment by connecting us to the richness of the here and now, reminding us that life's treasures are often found in the simplest moments. Greater than. Balancing ambition with contentment also requires compassion for ourselves and others. Self-compassion helps us navigate setbacks with kindness rather than self-criticism, while compassion for others reminds us that our actions have an impact beyond ourselves. This perspective encourages us to pursue goals that not only benefit us but also uplift those around us, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Another key to this balance is setting intentions rather than expectations. Intentions focus on how we want to show up in the world, our values, attitudes, and efforts, while expectations are tied to specific outcomes. By prioritizing intentions, we remain rooted in the present and open to possibilities, reducing the stress and disappointment that often accompany unmet expectations. This approach fosters both ambition and contentment, as it allows us to strive with purpose while embracing the unfolding of life. Balancing these forces also involves embracing the concept of enough. In a world that often equates success with more money, more achievements, more recognition, recognizing what is enough creates a profound sense of liberation. It shifts our focus from constant striving to meaningful living, allowing us to pursue goals that truly align with our values and needs rather than societal pressures. This balance is nurtured by reflecting on our motivations. When ambition is fueled by fear, comparison, or the need for approval, it often leads to stress and dissatisfaction. However, when it stems from a place of love, curiosity, and a desire to contribute, it becomes a source of joy and inspiration. Reflecting on our motivations helps us align our goals with our true selves, creating a harmony between striving and being. In balancing ambition with contentment, we discover a way of living that is both dynamic and peaceful. It's not about choosing one over the other, but integrating both in a way that supports our growth and well-being. This balance allows us to pursue our dreams while staying grounded in gratitude, creating a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. It teaches us that true success is not found in relentless striving, but in the art of living with purpose, integrity, and joy. Balancing ambition with contentment reminds us that a meaningful life is found in the harmony between striving and appreciating what is already present. Yet, even with this balance, a deeper question often lingers. Who are we beneath all our achievements and desires? Meditation becomes the bridge to this understanding. It is not just a practice for calming the mind, but a profound tool for self-discovery. Through meditation, we begin to uncover the layers of our identity, the patterns that shape us, and the essence of who we truly are. This journey is one of the most transformative paths we can take, leading not only to personal clarity, but also to a deeper understanding of our connection to the world. Greater than. Meditation starts by creating stillness. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, stillness is rare but essential. Sitting quietly with yourself allows the layers of external influences to fade, revealing the thoughts and emotions that often go unnoticed. This stillness is not about suppressing thoughts, but observing them without judgment. By paying attention to the patterns of the mind, you begin to see where your energy is directed, what worries you hold on to, and what desires drive you. This awareness is the first step toward understanding yourself. Through meditation, you also cultivate a sense of presence. Much of life is spent either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, pulling us away from the richness of the present moment. Meditation trains the mind to focus on the now, helping you to fully experience each moment without distraction. This presence deepens your connection to yourself as you learn to listen to your inner voice and recognize what truly resonates with your being. It also fosters gratitude as you become more attuned to the beauty and simplicity of life as it unfolds. Meditation also reveals the impermanence of thoughts and emotions. By sitting with the mind, you begin to notice how fleeting these experiences are, how a thought arises, lingers, and then fades away. This realization helps you detach from over-identifying with temporary states of mind. You start to see that you are not your thoughts, emotions, or fears, but something deeper and more constant. This detachment creates a sense of freedom, as you no longer feel defined by fleeting mental states. Self-discovery through meditation also involves exploring the stories you tell yourself. These stories, about who you are, what you can achieve, or what holds you back, often shape your identity. Meditation provides the space to question these narratives, to see whether they truly serve you or limit you. By peeling back these layers, you uncover the core of your being, free from societal expectations or self-imposed limitations. This clarity allows you to live more authentically, aligned with your true nature. Meditation also strengthens self-compassion. As you sit with yourself, you inevitably encounter imperfections, mistakes, and vulnerabilities. Instead of resisting or judging these aspects, meditation teaches you to embrace them with kindness. This self-compassion is not about excusing flaws, but understanding that they are part of the human experience. By accepting yourself fully, you create the foundation for deeper self-love and resilience. The practice of meditation also enhances emotional awareness. Many emotions lie beneath the surface, influencing decisions and interactions without conscious recognition. Meditation brings these emotions into the light, allowing you to understand their origins and effects. This awareness helps you respond to emotions with wisdom rather than being controlled by them. Over time, you develop a greater sense of emotional balance, which enhances your relationships and overall well-being. Meditation also deepens your understanding of interconnectedness. As you sit in stillness, you begin to feel the threads that connect you to others and the world around you. This sense of connection dissolves the illusion of separateness, reminding you that your actions, thoughts, and intentions impact the greater whole. This realization fosters compassion and a sense of responsibility, guiding you to live in harmony with others and the environment. Greater than. Meditation also helps uncover your values. In the stillness, you can reflect on what truly matters to you, free from external influences or societal pressures. This reflection brings clarity to your priorities, helping you align your actions with your deepest values. It allows you to let go of pursuits that don't serve your higher purpose, creating a life that feels more meaningful and fulfilling. Through meditation, you also develop the ability to observe without attachment. This practice is particularly valuable when exploring challenging aspects of yourself, such as fears, regrets, or insecurities. By observing these experiences without judgment, you create space for healing and growth. This detachment doesn't mean avoiding or suppressing emotions, but approaching them with curiosity and acceptance, allowing them to transform naturally. Meditation also fosters patience. The journey of self-discovery is not linear, and progress can feel slow or uncertain. Meditation teaches you to trust the process, to approach each moment with an open heart, rather than rushing toward answers. This patience allows you to explore yourself with gentleness, appreciating the unfolding of your journey, rather than focusing solely on the destination. As you deepen your meditation practice, you begin to notice shifts in how you engage with the world. Greater self-awareness leads to more intentional actions, as you're no longer driven by unconscious patterns or reactions. This intentionality enhances your relationships, your work, and your sense of purpose, as everything you do becomes infused with clarity and presence. Meditation also helps you navigate life's challenges with resilience. By cultivating inner stillness, you create a sanctuary within yourself that remains steady even amidst external chaos. This resilience allows you to face difficulties with grace, drawing on the strength and wisdom uncovered through self-discovery. It also fosters hope, as you recognize that challenges are opportunities for growth and transformation. The journey of self-discovery through meditation is also one of empowerment. As you connect with your true self, you begin to see the vast potential within you. This realization is not about ego, but about recognizing your unique gifts and how you can contribute to the world. Meditation helps you tap into this potential, guiding you to live with confidence and purpose. Meditation as a tool for self-discovery is a lifelong practice. It is not about reaching a fixed destination, but about continuously exploring and evolving. Each moment of stillness brings new insights, new layers of understanding, and new opportunities for growth. This ongoing journey enriches every aspect of life, helping you to live with greater awareness, authenticity, and joy. Through meditation, you come to know yourself in a way that transcends labels, roles, and expectations. You uncover the essence of your being, the part of you that is constant amidst change and challenge. This self-discovery is the foundation for living with purpose, peace, and connection, allowing you to navigate life with a profound sense of harmony and fulfillment. Self-discovery, through meditation, uncovers the truths that lie within, revealing a clearer understanding of your essence and purpose. Yet, as you explore the depths of who you are, a question often arises. How do we cultivate a joy that lasts? Not the fleeting happiness that comes from external achievements, but a profound sense of inner fulfillment that remains steady through life's ups and downs. Buddhist teachings provide profound insights into awakening this joy, a joy rooted in presence, gratitude, and connection to life's simple, meaningful moments. Greater than. True joy begins with appreciating the present moment. So often joy is postponed to some future achievement or condition, but Buddhist philosophy teaches that fulfillment is found in the now. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to notice the small miracles of daily life, a warm meal, the kindness of a stranger, the beauty of sunlight filtering through trees. When you stop waiting for joy to arrive and instead find it in what is already here, life feels richer, more vibrant, and deeply satisfying. This practice of awakening joy also involves recognizing and releasing cravings. Cravings often masquerade as pathways to happiness, convincing you that acquiring more, whether possessions, status, or experiences, will bring lasting fulfillment. However, cravings create cycles of dissatisfaction where each achievement or acquisition is quickly replaced by the next desire. Buddhist teachings encourage letting go of this cycle, showing that freedom from craving allows you to appreciate what you have and find joy in simplicity. Gratitude is a cornerstone of lasting joy. By shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is present, you transform how you experience life. Gratitude doesn't deny challenges, but highlights the blessings that coexist with them. This perspective helps you see that even in difficult times, there is something to cherish, a lesson learned, a connection strengthened, or a moment of peace amidst the storm. Gratitude invites a sense of abundance, showing that joy is not about having more, but appreciating enough. Another pathway to joy is through acts of kindness and generosity. Buddhist teachings emphasize the interconnection of all beings, and when you contribute to the happiness of others, you naturally enhance your own. Kindness creates a ripple effect, where your actions inspire positivity, not only in others, but also within yourself. Whether it's offering a helping hand, a genuine smile, or a word of encouragement, each act of kindness strengthens your sense of purpose and connection. Compassion is equally transformative in cultivating joy. When you approach yourself and others with understanding and care, you dissolve barriers that often create tension and isolation. Compassion doesn't mean solving every problem or carrying every burden, but it does mean showing up with an open heart. This openness allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, creating moments of shared humanity that fill life with meaning and warmth. Letting go of comparison is another vital step toward inner fulfillment. Comparison often robs you of joy, drawing your attention to what others have or achieve rather than focusing on your unique journey. Buddhist teachings remind us that each path is different and that comparing yourself to others only distracts from your own growth. By focusing on your progress and values, you find a sense of joy in being true to yourself. Awakening joy also involves embracing impermanence. Life's fleeting nature can feel unsettling, but it also makes each moment precious. When you recognize that nothing lasts forever, you begin to savor what is here now. This awareness heightens your ability to experience joy, as you no longer take moments for granted. Instead of fearing change, you appreciate the beauty of life's ever-changing flow. The practice of contentment is another way to unlock lasting happiness. Contentment arises not from resignation, but from fully appreciating the present without constantly seeking more. It's a quiet, profound joy that comes from knowing you have enough, not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually. Contentment allows you to let go of unnecessary striving, creating space for peace and satisfaction. Greater than. Joy is also deeply tied to connection. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of relationships built on mutual respect and care. Whether it's a deep conversation, a shared laugh, or simply being present for someone, these connections nourish the soul. True joy often arises not from what you achieve alone, but from the bonds you create with others and the love you give and receive. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role in awakening joy. When you live mindfully, you experience life more fully. Each bite of food, each breath, and each interaction becomes an opportunity for presence and gratitude. Mindfulness allows you to engage with life in a way that feels deliberate and meaningful, amplifying your capacity for joy by rooting you in the richness of the here and now. Self-acceptance is another key to lasting happiness. Joy flourishes when you release the need to be perfect and embrace yourself as you are. This acceptance doesn't mean avoiding growth, but recognizing that you are enough in this moment. Self-acceptance fosters inner peace, as you no longer seek validation from others or tie your happiness to external achievements. The pursuit of meaningful goals also contributes to inner fulfillment. Goals aligned with your values and passions provide a sense of direction and purpose. However, Buddhist teachings remind us to pursue these goals mindfully, without attachment to specific outcomes. The process of working towards something meaningful can be as joyful as the achievement itself, especially when approached with presence and intention. Letting go of resentment is another pathway to joy. Holding on to past hurts creates emotional barriers that prevent you from fully experiencing happiness. Forgiveness, both for yourself and others, clears these barriers, allowing joy to flow freely. This release doesn't excuse harm, but acknowledges that clinging to pain only prolongs suffering. By letting go, you reclaim your peace and open your heart to new possibilities. Another important aspect of joy is living in alignment with your values. When your actions reflect your principles, you create a sense of harmony within yourself. This alignment fosters a sense of authenticity and pride, as you know you're living in a way that feels true to who you are. It also deepens your sense of purpose, as you see the positive impact your values-driven actions have on the world. Awakening joy involves embracing the practice of non-attachment. Non-attachment is not about detaching from life, but about engaging with it without clinging. It allows you to enjoy experiences, relationships, and achievements without the fear of losing them. This freedom creates space for joy to arise naturally, as you are no longer weighed down by the need to control or possess. Through these practices, joy becomes more than a fleeting emotion. It becomes a way of being. It is a state of inner fulfillment that arises from living with presence, gratitude, compassion, and authenticity. Buddhist teachings remind us that joy is not something to chase, but something to uncover within ourselves through mindful choices and meaningful connections. This joy is enduring, enriching every moment and guiding us toward a life of true happiness. Greater than. Awakening joy teaches us that fulfillment arises from within, grounded in presence, gratitude, and authentic connection. Yet, even as joy takes root, it can be stifled by the weight of attachments, particularly to material possessions, outcomes, or expectations. The practice of detachment offers a liberating path to create mental and emotional space, allowing fulfillment to flourish unburdened by the distractions and constraints of clinging. Detachment is not about rejecting the world, but about engaging with it in a way that frees the heart and mind, enabling a deeper connection to what truly matters. Detachment begins with understanding the nature of attachment. Attachments often form when we tie our identity or happiness to external things, possessions, relationships, or achievements. While these can bring temporary satisfaction, they're impermanent by nature. When we cling to them, we set ourselves up for disappointment or anxiety over the possibility of losing them. Detachment doesn't mean giving up what you value. It means loosening the grip, allowing you to appreciate without fear and hold without possessiveness. At its core, detachment fosters freedom. When you are not bound by materialism or the need to control, your mind becomes lighter, more expansive. This freedom opens space for creativity, presence, and joy. Detachment allows you to experience the world fully, without the constant pull of wanting more or fearing loss. This mental clarity enables you to focus on what truly enriches your life, rather than being consumed by superficial desires. Practicing detachment also shifts your relationship with material possessions. Materialism often leads to a cycle of acquisition, where the satisfaction of obtaining something new quickly fades, replaced by the desire for more. Detachment breaks this cycle, teaching you to value quality over quantity and function over excess. You begin to see possessions as tools to support your life rather than symbols of success or identity. This shift not only reduces stress, but also fosters a sense of gratitude for what you already have. Detachment also transforms your relationship with achievements. Goals and ambitions are important, but when they become tied to your self-worth, they create pressure and dissatisfaction. By detaching from specific outcomes, you can pursue goals with a sense of curiosity and purpose rather than a need for validation. This approach allows you to focus on the process, finding fulfillment in the effort itself rather than hinging your happiness on results. Detachment liberates you from the highs and lows of external success, creating a steady foundation of inner peace. Emotional detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means cultivating equanimity. In relationships, clinging to expectations or outcomes can create tension and disappointment. Detachment allows you to love and care for others without trying to control them. It helps you accept people as they are, fostering deeper and more authentic connections. This approach strengthens relationships by replacing neediness with trust and attachment with genuine appreciation. The practice of detachment also encourages resilience. When you are not overly attached to specific circumstances or outcomes, you can navigate challenges with greater flexibility and grace. Detachment doesn't prevent difficulties but helps you approach them with a calm and open mind, allowing you to adapt and grow. This resilience is empowering as it shifts your focus from what you can't control to what you can. Greater than. Detachment is also deeply tied to mindfulness. By being present, you can engage with life without the constant pull of wanting or resisting. Mindfulness teaches you to experience each moment fully, without clinging to pleasure or avoiding discomfort. This balance allows you to find joy in the present rather than chasing it elsewhere. Detachment and mindfulness together create a powerful practice for living with intention and clarity. Another benefit of detachment is reduced stress. Attachment often leads to worry, whether it's about maintaining what you have, achieving what you desire, or avoiding what you fear. Detachment quiets these worries, replacing them with a sense of trust in the natural flow of life. This trust doesn't mean passivity, but an understanding that life is ever-changing, and peace comes from working with this flow rather than resisting it. Detachment also fosters simplicity. When you let go of the need to accumulate or control, life becomes less cluttered, both physically and emotionally. This simplicity creates space for what truly matters, whether it's meaningful relationships, personal growth, or moments of quiet reflection. Detachment helps you prioritize, ensuring your energy is directed toward what aligns with your values and brings fulfillment. Practicing detachment also enhances self-awareness. By examining what you are attached to and why, you gain insight into your desires, fears, and motivations. This awareness helps you understand which attachments serve you and which hinder you. It allows you to make more intentional choices, freeing yourself from habits or patterns that no longer align with your values. Detachment also nurtures compassion. When you are less tied to your own desires and expectations, you can be more present for others. This openness allows you to listen without judgment, support without trying to fix, and love without conditions. Detachment creates space for deeper connections as it removes the barriers of ego and control. The practice of detachment also deepens your sense of gratitude. By letting go of the need for more, you begin to appreciate what is already here. Gratitude flourishes in the absence of clinging, as you are no longer fixated on what you lack. This shift in perspective brings a profound sense of contentment, showing you that fulfillment is not about accumulating, but about appreciating. Detachment also strengthens your relationship with yourself. When you are not tied to external validations or possessions, you begin to see your intrinsic worth. This self-acceptance is empowering, as it frees you from seeking approval or defining yourself by achievements. Detachment allows you to embrace who you are, fostering confidence and peace. Practicing detachment also encourages a sense of curiosity. When you are not overly attached to outcomes, you approach life with openness and wonder. This curiosity allows you to explore new experiences, perspectives, and possibilities without the fear of failure or judgment. Detachment transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and learning. Greater than. The practice of detachment also enhances your relationship with time. Attachments often create a sense of urgency, rushing toward goals, holding on to the past, or fearing the future. Detachment grounds you in the present, helping you engage with time in a more balanced and intentional way. This perspective allows you to savor moments rather than rush through them, creating a deeper sense of fulfillment. Detachment also aligns with sustainability. By letting go of excessive consumption and focusing on what truly matters, you reduce waste and live more mindfully. This approach not only benefits you, but also contributes to the well-being of the planet. Detachment encourages thoughtful choices that reflect your values, fostering harmony with the environment. Ultimately, detachment is about creating space to breathe, to grow, and to connect with what truly matters. It frees you from the weight of materialism, the pressure of expectations, and the fear of loss. This freedom allows you to live with clarity, purpose, and joy, unburdened by the distractions of attachment. Through detachment, you discover that fulfillment is not found in holding on, but in letting go. It is a practice of liberation, one that opens the door to a life of greater peace, balance, and meaning. Life's most profound balance and fulfillment don't come from external achievements or possessions. They arise from how we navigate each moment, guided by timeless wisdom. The middle way teaches us harmony. Mindful breathing grounds us in peace, and the Four Noble Truths illuminate the path through suffering to freedom. Loving kindness meditation opens our hearts to compassion, while detachment frees us from clinging and aversion, creating space for true joy. Together, these practices invite us to live with clarity, gratitude, and purpose, unlocking a deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. Now, it's your turn to reflect. What practice resonated with you the most? Which of these teachings do you see yourself applying in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these insights might shape your journey. And if you found value in this exploration, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. By joining us, you'll ensure that you never miss a chance to deepen your understanding and bring more wisdom into your daily life. Let's grow together, one step at a time. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.